Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it.
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
But he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Mma Gracie.
Get out.
Versus Brazilian black belt Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
A truly picturesque part of the country, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. A year ago, Bellator MMA kicked down the doors of this place and put on a heck of a show. 1 year later, we are back, heading for the Sanford Pentagon. You are inside now, where we head, by the time this night is over, to one of the most unique main events in Bellator history, with some title implications on the line with Mma Gracie and Goichi Yamauchi. It is great to see you again. I'm Sean Grandy, as you all know very, very well. This is Big John McCarthy. 283 main events have come before this, and they've all held their own place in history, have all been fascinating matchups. This one is as unique as they get.
It is unique because you have two of the very best at what they do. Look at Goichi Yamauchi is the king of submission here in Bellator. He's got 9 submissions in Bellator. 21 out of his 27 wins are by submission. Mma Gracie, he's got 7 submissions. He sits in second, and 9 out of his 11 wins by submission. Take a look at that leg lock. Beautiful inverted heel hook. He is a master at getting the neck. He takes the arm. He is a guy that can go after any body part you have and put the submission on you. That's what makes him unique. You don't get a lot of guys in MMA that can run the full gamut from head to toe. When you're looking at Goichi Yamauchi, though, this guy is a king for the reason he goes after the submission. He lets you take him down. He believes that off of his back, he can get the submission win against anyone, and he wants to prove that against Mma Gracie tonight. Take a look at this choke against Adam Piccolotti. Look at the trapping of the arm. No one's going to get out of that. That's what makes Goichi Yamauchi so good, and that's why he has 21 victories by submission.
So fascinating, growing up idolizing the Gracies. But before we get there, when we go live at 9 o'clock Eastern on Showtime, all of these fights, all of them have title implications. They have top 10 implications. There are many to choose from. I'm going to start with the top, because Austin Vanderford here for a last-minute fighter, a last-minute opponent. This is going to be no picnic for Austin Vanderford.
No, he got put against a guy, in my opinion, tougher fight for him. You got Jeffries, very good everywhere, a grinder just like Vanderford. This is going to be a big test coming off of that loss for the title.
And you know what? That's going to be a theme tonight, because Alima Lane McFarland coming off a loss, Valentin Moldavsky coming off a loss in a championship fight, and that first fight after really determines your next year or two.
It does say a lot about where is your mentality. Did you learn from those mistakes, or are you now just going to fall farther into that rut?
But we begin tonight on the prelims with an amateur fight. This is going to be 2 fighters who have yet to start their professional career, including a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Brett By, fighting at home here in South Dakota. A fascinating night. And we check out the tail of the tape, and what is we remind you, we'll keep reminding you, an amateur fight to start.
It is an amateur fight, but that 77.5 reach is a huge advantage for Ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome as we get set now for Bellator 284 from the Sanford Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We get the prelims underway now with amateurs at 175 pounds set for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner first at 6'2", weighing in 174.4 pounds. His amateur record undefeated, 4-0. He fights out of Omaha, Nebraska, Mma. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 173.8 pounds as an amateur. He's 1-0, fighting out of Vermilion, South Dakota, presenting Slippery Brett Mma. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
There's a lot of emotional things going on here with an amateur fight taking place on a professional stage. John, go through some of the rule changes, things that people who aren't watching a lot of amateur fights don't know.
Real quick, let's take a look. There's 3-minute rounds here instead of a 5-minute round. You're also not going to be able to knee to the head. You're not going to be able to elbow to the head. It's punching and kicking, and when it hits the ground, they're going to be in a position where if Jason Herzog as the referee sees a submission and they're not defending right, he will actually just stop the fight instead of allowing the fighter to try to work through it completely based upon safety of the fighters.
Also, no elbows. Talking to Jason Herzog, it's kind of interesting because the referee has a lot of judgment and a lot of leeway in this situation.
Yeah, he does, and it's done that way on purpose because this is amateur. There is no money involved. There is no rankings involved. There's no world titles really involved. This is about learning to become the professional, and they're more concerned about the safety of the fighter being able to move on in their career than they are about the actual win.
Wrestling background for both. Led by, obviously, locally here in South Dakota State.
Yeah, Brett Mma is looking, he wants to get this fight to the ground. It's not going to be easy with that long reach, and exactly what you're seeing Ya do right now is he's decided to come up with a sprawl and brawl type of, format to just sit here and pick him apart. He's not trying to throw real hard, which is smart. That's saying he's been coached well. He's utilizing that front kick. All of this is very good right now for Ya.
I ask this a lot, but what is the first thing you notice the first time you see a fight? You've seen thousands of fighters. What's the first thing you're looking for?
The first thing you're looking for when you're looking at a fighter is, do they have technique in what they do? Right here, you're looking by going towards that armbar, did not get it, but he got hurt, and he actually hurt himself on that kick. You saw him be affected by the check of the kick, meaning that hurt him too.
Roll out and come up, roll out and double, roll out and double. There we go.
Now, when it comes to leg locks in the amateurs, you will not be able to do a rotational leg lock. You can only do straight ankle locks. Anything like a heel hook or anything in that form. You can do the straight knee bar, you can do the straight ankle lock, but that's it.
Explain to people why.
The whole reason behind that is, again, safety of the fighter. The rotationals hurt people, but they don't realize it's going to hurt them. They don't feel it until it's too late.
I'm trying to find an analogy. It'd almost be like watching amateur boxers wear headgear. I mean, you're trying to make a safer environment.
Yeah, you're just trying to make it a safer environment. And again, they're looking and saying, what's the most important thing? The most important thing is they get the experience of being in the cage. They have that feeling of training for a fight. Again, there goes your straight ankle lock. He's allowed to do that. That's a nice attack. I will tell you, for the most part, that's uncomfortable, but it's not something that's going to do a ton of damage usually.
And you can see Brett Mma is limping back to his corner, and it was that kick that got checked. That was sort of the moment of the first round.
Yeah, if they show that first kick, you'll see that when they both... He goes and he throws that kick. Brett Mma on that one, but it's the next one when Brett Mma actually, he's the one throwing it. Watch the check. You see him fold off of that. No, it was actually Ya that was the one initiating it, but he folded off of that. That did hurt him, that low calf kick.
You saw that leg turned red right away onto the left knee.
You can
no reaching
see
for
it right at this moment.
Don't reach.
That is still pink and red.
Favoring it heavily, even standing in the corner.
Take a look at, when you look at the leg, look at the white and the red, and that's telling you you've got damage there. The body is trying to assimilate what's going on with that leg right now, but he's got serious problems.
Good. Second round, fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
Pressure. The whole time.
Y'all not having any kind of sympathy, going right back after that. We're going to see Bai try to treetop this. No, he goes after the kick. Nice move by him.
He almost went to the ground voluntarily there. Again, part of the learning process, learning to fight through an injury.
And all of a sudden, when you're not at that 100%, you're not, you know, and all of a sudden you have no ability to actually control your balance. It is a very difficult thing, but it's something, again, you got to learn to work through, and that's what this is about.
Hips forward, Maya. There you go.
Ya doing a nice job keeping his hips tight up. Switches right into side control. Nice move by Ya.
You can tell it got quieter in here. Red Bai had the big cheering section, but fans here are smart enough to know that their guy got hurt.
Ya's looking to trap that arm with the leg, unable to do so. And Bai is doing exactly what you don't want to do. You see how he's starting to turn away from him and give the back. He wants to turn towards him, even though at times when you're getting punched, that's not an easy thing to do.
When a wrestler moves to MMA, I was going to say turn pro, but these two haven't turned pro yet. What do they have to unlearn?
The first thing that a wrestler has to unlearn is, as far as being on his back, they're not comfortable there. And they will do things just like you're seeing from Bai of, I'm going to turn the wrong way. You want to try to turn into your opponent. Get the underhook from that point. Start building a base up to where you can now get yourself back to your feet. It just is a hard element to undo all those years of training of wrestling of, I want to turn my back because that's a better thing in wrestling. It's not a better thing always in MMA.
The wrestler who is 23, 24 years old probably has 17 or 18 years of doing it.
Exactly, and you know, everyone looks and goes, well, why? It becomes part of your instinctual movement based upon the training you've done for so long. Now, Ya, a little bit heavy on that, and he's giving that opportunity to suck his hips right back. Very nice, right into the mount now. And he's got that arm trapped if he's smart now. Bai was able to get it back.
You're in your corner right here. Sure.
Red Bai, he's barely getting back to the corner.
Yeah, you saw him stumble there, and that wasn't because of anything as far as damage to his head area. He's actually had a drop foot there for a second.
You think Jason Herzog is talking to the coaches about letting him get, like, is there a reason they should be continuing in this fight?
Yes, the reason what Jason is doing is, I'm telling you right now.
Fight if he can't continue. So I think you guys should make a call right now about how much of a chance you have, okay? Just think about it. You got time.
And that's
exactly right.
Exactly what he's supposed to do. Again, what is the real outcome of this fight? As soon as Red Bai ends up becoming a pro, he's 0-0.
When you're fighting for your mortgage money or a title shot or whatever, this is a different deal.
Yes.
Yeah?
This is his second amateur fight.
Good? Good? Fight around right here. Fight around. Fight you ready. Fight you ready. Fight!
Watching in black and white, that would still come right through the screen.
You can see how flat he is with his foot as he takes those steps. He's actually placing his foot not on the toe, but on the flat part of his foot just for balance. That was a nice right hand he landed though.
Second one.
And Ya, again, going back to that low calf kick.
I'll try to keep him in distance. He can get a clean shot.
Well, we talked about that 77.5-inch reach compared to 71. And he has that advantage, and he's trying to utilize it.
Level change.
A nice job of stepping over by Ya. See, everything that he's doing is telling you he's been coached well. He understands it's okay that he tries to turn me over. All I do is walk around through it. Everything that you're seeing is a well-trained young fighter who is getting ready to be a professional.
And if, as it appears, Bai cannot really put weight on that left ankle, that cuts down a lot of his options here to escape and to move. A limited menu, you're swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Ya put his leg up in a position that was not the right thing to do. It was a little bit of a mistake. Bai tried to get control of it. Wasn't able to actually hold on to the leg right now.
What should he have done?
As far as first, Ya should never have brought his. What he was trying to do is look to trap the head. In this position, that was not the thing to do. And Bai, although that's exactly what he should have done right there. If that leg comes up, I want to use it as a leverage point to elevate my opponent over. And again, he's looking towards that ankle lock. Unfortunately, because of amateurs, he can't go to the heel hook or anything like that.
It's been there a couple of times.
See, a toe hold was just called out by the coach. They cannot use the toe hold because the toe hold is rotational.
So I'm asking you questions to explain to an audience things that it seems like the corner doesn't understand.
You would think.
Which is probably not as unique as you think.
But you got to give it to Brett Bai. He is.
Yeah, he's fought through it.
And he's fought through it. And every attempt that he's tried was the right thing for him to do. He knows what he's doing and where he's at and what he's allowed to do.
Final 10 seconds. Moment of the fight was that low kick that Ya landed early in the first round. That was the difference. Brett Bai was never the same after that. If the definition, if the goal is to have learning experiences in your amateur career, this certainly was one for Brett Bai.
Well, obviously, Brett Bai wants to get the win. It hurts your heart, when you lose. But you learn from this, and you learn, okay, where do I have to get better? And he was just shown by Ya, these are the areas I need to work on, and that's what the amateur program is all about, and that's why it needs to stay the way it is.
Thanks, Bruce. I hate to say it because it might get back to him, but Jason Herzog did a really nice job with that.
Yeah, you never want to go Jason. No. Jason is one of the very best referees in the world. And he handled that situation the appropriate way. He didn't stop, but he put it on the trainer to say, hey, I just want you to look at your fighter the way I'm looking at him right now. Do you want him to continue on and be damaged in this fight when it looks like it's getting away?
So unusual to have an amateur fight on this kind of stage.
It is unusual. It's one thing I will tell people. I've heard people look at it both ways, and I think it's nothing but exceptional for the fighters themselves, because this is the hardest element you're ever going to fight under. Strikeforce used to do it, bringing in amateurs sometimes for the early fights. It gives the fighter an opportunity to fight in front of a crowd that they never usually would be able to fight in. So.
Michael C. Williams will make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Tom Alston, Eric Colon, Brian Miner. I'll have it exactly the same. 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Mma App.
Undefeated amateur, and no surprise what happened here was, and this can often happen, something that you don't expect in the opening minute of a fight. Never changed direction after that.
No, it did not. You got to give it up to Ya. He fought a very smart, well-paced, and well-thought-out fight.
We are just getting started tonight. That will end Amanda Guerra with a fight that we have all been looking forward to and none of us can figure out.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Sean. Thanks so much. We are so excited for our main event tonight. The two best submission specialists in Bellator going head-to-head. Of course, we are talking about Naaman Gracie and Goichi Yamauchi here. Yamauchi with the most submissions in Bellator history. He has 9 of them, 21 in his career. Gracie of the famed Gracie family. He is tied for second with 7, but he's never faced a grappler near his level on the ground until now. Now, Gracie coming into this fight off his disappointing loss to Logan Storley. He said, look, I fell in love with my stand-up a little bit. Maybe I focused on that a little too much. I've learned my lesson going into this fight. As for Yamauchi, he says, look, I may have the most submissions in Bellator history, but to get a submission against a Gracie, that would mean the world to him. Sean, we're just getting started. We'll send it back down to you.
Yeah, there's so many elements of that main event, and Goichi's fascination with the Gracie family is right at the top of the list. Nothing else going on. A bantamweight division as deep as any in the sport, and about to check out another name that wants to add itself to that very deep list before long.
And now, ready to make his way to the cage, Tony Ortega.
They call him the monster, Tony Ortega, and he has a real opportunity here because on the other side tonight is going to be a blue chipper that a lot of people are staring at, and a blue chipper on the other side means opportunity for someone.
You're absolutely right. And it's not that Tony Ortega, he's got a lot more experience. He's got 9 fights, but you're talking about the experience of an NC2A wrestler who goes and does so many matches, a 2-time All-American in Mckee. So this is a big moment for Tony, and it is a big opportunity because if you can put that dent right now in that record, that says a lot as far as moving you forward.
Now ready to make his way to the cage, merciless Mckee.
Last year, Logan Storley was the headline here in Bellator's debut in South Dakota. Now Logan Storley is wearing the gold. He is training partner of what a lot of people think could be the next great one at 135, Mckee. John already ran some of his credentials, which are extraordinary 2-time All-American, wrestling Big Ten at the University of Minnesota. He had one of my favorite answers when he was asked about whether or not he's a jiu-jitsu black belt or something. He said, I've got a belt in wrestling.
I've got a black belt in wrestling. And look, he does. When you talk about wrestling at the Division I level of NC2A wrestling, you are very good with the grappling arts.
Let's check out the tail of the tape.
Very simply put, right here, 66-inch reach for Mckee. Tony Ortega is going to want to probably keep this thing on the feet. Hopefully that 69-inch reach helps him do it.
To Michael C. Williams.
For all those joining us tonight live on YouTube at Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports, we welcome you to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, as we get set now here at the Bellator 284 prelims to go 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'7", weighing in 134.8 pounds. His professional record 5-4, fighting out of Denver, Colorado by way of Columbus, Nebraska, Tony El Chupacabra Ortega. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 135 pounds even as a professional. 2 victories without a defeat. He fights out of St. Michael, Minnesota, merciless Mckee. And the referee in charge, Bobby Wambacher.
Tony, are you ready? Mitchell, are you ready? Let's get after it.
That took 6 seconds.
Let's say not long.
See a lot of wrestlers that like to, they put those gloves on and they want to start messing around with stand-up and forget about what brought them to the dance in the first place.
Yeah, I was going to talk about maybe, you know, we'd see Mitchell Mckee use his hands to get into that takedown.
He used it. He used them around the waist.
Used them right around for that double leg. Boom. Yeah. Nice move right in and out. And then he's the one who decided. Good movement by Ortega. Mckee goes right into side control. Again, this is about positionally just moving yourself, and he has moved himself to a better position.
That was very stubborn. But what does it tell you that Mckee very quickly recognized that he didn't feel like he was in control of it and went to the next?
Had the ability to possibly lose the position. Don't try to hold on to something that I'm going to lose. Let me get to a position that I can control. Now this is a mistake right here, and you'll see it many times. Looking at now, he just switched the arm position. That was very nice of Mitchell. Mitchell Mckee doing a great job of switching that up because it went to what is basically NC2A rules as far as I can't lock ahead. Now he's into this Darce choke. This could be problems, and he's got that leg hooked up.
Ortega's got a long way to go.
It's all about body position. Nice job by Ortega to free the leg.
That's the only thing he freed.
Mckee just trying to figure out the right position for the pressure point to create what he needs to choke him out.
You just said the magic word when you're going against an All-American wrestler. Pressure. You're going to be pressured.
Nice job by Tony Ortega to work his way out of that. Right in front of him. Beautiful job taking him right back over. And this is when you're facing someone that has the wrestling pedigree of Mckee, it's so tough to stop it. Especially early on in your career. If you haven't had that wrestling background, it's very, very difficult to stay at pace with him.
How many guys have we heard? Well, I know he's a wrestler. I know what he's going to do. That doesn't mean you could stop.
Knowing what he's going to do and stopping what he's going to do are two separate things.
Keep your toes out of the cage.
I was just going to explain that rule. I didn't have to.
And Tony Ortega said, can you give me a break?
How about anything?
Keep your toes out of the cage, Tony.
Now, the one thing that you're going to want to see, and this is part of just learning to be a mixed martial arts fighter instead of a wrestler, great control right now by Mckee, but we're not seeing a lot of damage, and he needs to start being able to figure out ways to open up and damage his opponent.
Tony Ortega is simply running out of options. Like, all right, that didn't work. That didn't work.
In these positions, he's going to find it's very difficult to move Mckee because Mckee, again, coming from that wrestling background, his base is solid. It's very difficult to move someone like that. He's got to make the mistake, and you got to catch him in it. And you're not going to have him making that mistake in this element. But as you are seeing, he is only controlling right now. He's not even looking for the submission at this point. He's not punching, and so it's a matter of he's got to start to bring those elements into his game to make him more dangerous for his opponent.
So Mckee's won his first 2 fights by knockout. Again, if you're a wrestler with all those skills and you want to make the transition, Henry Hoof's a good way to go.
No doubt about it. You take a look at all those guys down there. And, I mean, just crazy. Pompano Beach has got some mad gyms going on. Henry Hoof, unbelievable coach.
Ortega hunting for the arm, looking for any opening here, and there has been none in the first 5 minutes.
And in this position, Mckee should feel very good, very in control. The half guard is good. You see he's got the lockdown once you try to move him, but that's what you need to do. Start to posture and get to a position where you can do some damage, start landing some strikes.
There you go. You want some water? There you go.
Mitchell Mckee, and it really is for you and I, John, it's like looking in the mirror, isn't it? In a lot of ways when you look at the physique, certainly.
Body type.
But one of my thoughts, seeing him in person for the first time, is that I wonder how long he's going to be at 135. Considering that he's probably going to get, I mean, he's still a young, he's 24.
He is 24, but he was actually wrestling at a higher weight. He was wrestling at 145, basically, so it was a higher weight. And right now, yeah, he does pack a lot of muscle on, but it's all a matter of nutrition and the way that he controls it. The one thing you take a look at the corner. We've got Robbie Lawler and the champ in Logan Storley. Not bad.
Seconds out.
Breathe, and let's move.
It is, I mean, impossible for me not to think of Rory McDonald when I see Robbie.
One of the greatest fights in MMA history.
Tony, are you ready? Mitchell, are you ready?
Cage side seat, and there's a third guy in the cage for it.
You can see what Ortega is looking at. Nice kick. He's also looking for, when Mitchell Mckee comes in, he's looking for that knee. He's going to bring his right knee up to stop and try to hit the chin of Mckee.
He used an odds, but a lot of air and leaves himself open for that. But if you're Ortega and you've got those first 30 seconds of the round, you got to shoot a shot.
You got to. Yeah, I admire the fact that he's not giving any kind of quarter. He's going after him. He's trying to put him away. The wrestling is the big difference right now in this fight. And one thing right there you saw from Mckee, he's got to figure out, when do I squeeze and when do I go, because he's going to blow up his arm. So that was a nice move. Nice job of taking the back. Great job by Ortega to turn on that. And this is what you want to see from Mckee. You get that opportunity to open up. You've got to get
Ortega's in trouble here. When he's turned down, he is face down.
He's in trouble.
We are near the finish line, and it's over. Ortega simply ran out of options. Every door was closed by that young man, Mitchell Mckee. Third straight win, third straight knockout.
And sometimes when you're Ortega, right here is where you flat down, take a look at where his legs end up now. His legs are up in the air. There's no movement, no ability for him to get out of this position. All he can be is a punching bag, and that's why referee Bobby Wambacher comes in and puts an end to it.
That caliber in your corner. As you said, look at that picture. That's got to be worth. That's got to be worth 10% of confidence. Just forget the coaching itself. Just having those guys there.
Having guys that have been there, been in the worst situations there can be, fought their way out of those things. Those are guys that you can believe in, you can rely on. And look, Henry Hoof is in that corner. Henry didn't say a word.
Right,
he just let his guys do it, and he doesn't have to, just like you're saying.
So Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 1 minute, 28 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, merciless, Mitchell Mckee.
Just what the Bellator Bantamweight division needed. Another young killer coming up strong at 135. Mitchell Mckee goes to 3-0. We are just getting started here in Sioux Falls tonight. Much more prelim action coming your way.
Hey, Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today. The new Bellator MMA app is here. New look, new features, new fights. Watch live weigh-ins and prelims. Share your fight picks.
Earn points and badges as you rank up to the heavyweight division and stay up to date on events, rankings, and news. For all the latest features, download the new Bellator MMA app, available on the App Store and Google Play.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it.
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
But he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Mma Gracie
Get out.
versus Brazilian black belt Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
We are here at Bellator 280 for a 5-fight stacked main card in the best little city in America. We're talking about Sioux Falls, South Dakota here. We have the prelims going on right now here inside. It has been a fantastic night so far. Want to talk about our co-main event we have coming up tonight. This is a wonderful heavyweight bout where you can expect some explosive punches here. We have the former interim champ and Valentin Moldavsky going up against very tall Steve Mowry. Taking a look at the rankings here, Valentin Moldavsky ranked #1 right now. He is coming off that loss to Ryan Bader. He told us his goal tonight, get through Mowry, and then he wants a rematch. As for Steve Mowry, ranked 5th. He is undefeated so far, 10-0. If he wins, he is right in that title contention conversation. But Moldavsky will be his toughest opponent yet. Now, Mowry says, Moldavsky, he's not ready for me. He says, I am better across the board. Moldavsky, however, not afraid of tall Steve Mowry. It has been an incredible night here. The prelims have been explosive. Sean, we'll send it back down to you.
And we're just at the start of things, and boy, you see all those names at heavyweight. Of course, we'll be discussing at some point what will Fedor do as we move through the heavyweight division with 2 big heavyweight fights on the main card and this fascinating one here on the prelim.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Mark the Wolf Courier.
You gotta stop it, though. You gotta take it slow. You can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. You to tell me what to do. I don't give it.
Mark Courier's grandmother gave him that name, the Wolf, so that was his spirit animal. Long amateur career, so just 25 years old. He is going to be facing a high caliber athlete here tonight.
And now, to make his way, Berserk Bailey Schoenfelder.
We often talk about Division I athletes. We just talked about a 2-time All-American for the University of Minnesota. Bailey Schoenfelder played football at the University of Minnesota. High-level athlete, training partner of Linton Vassell. And that nickname Berserk is one that you talk to people around him that says he has earned it.
He has earned it. Look at Bailey Schoenfelder is an athlete. Like you said, played football at Minnesota. This guy's a good wrestler. He's got everything you're looking for. And the best part about him is he is learning with some of the best guys. He's going against guys that are bigger, stronger, more experienced, so he doesn't make mistakes in the cage. He does all that in the training and comes out and performs well when he gets in the cage. And that's what he did in his first fight here at Bellator.
Now, the one thing heavyweight does, John, is give you often a wide disparity in weight. That's what we got here.
Yes, it does. In fact, that's what we're going to highlight here. You can see Bailey Schoenfelder coming in at 227.8, a full 250.6. That is a big weight disparity. We'll see if it makes a difference.
To Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at the Sanford Pentagon, Bellator 284, the prelims roll on as we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'5", weighing in 250.6 pounds. His professional record 1-1. He fights out of Mason City, Iowa, Mark the Wolf Courier. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6'3", weighing in 227.8 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 2-0. He fights out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, presenting Berserk, Bailey Schoenfelder. The referee in charge once again, Bobby Wambacher.
Scoot over from me. Mark, scoot over there. Mark, are you ready? Bailey, are you ready? Let's get after it.
Can you tell anything from the expression of a fighter before a fight?
Absolutely, you know, especially everything's dependent upon experience and everything. With young fighters, you'll notice their demeanor as you see them earlier in the week and then you see them in the cage. Nice shot by Mark Courier. It'll tell you a lot about, yeah, I'm braggadocious, but now I'm concerned because I realize this is real. Mark Courier really going after him with that right hand and has landed a couple of times some good shots.
Both of Schoenfelder's wins have been first-round knockouts. Moving the fight here in Sioux Falls last year.
Oh, that was a big-time uppercut. Right there, that moment you saw Schoenfelder using a beautiful duck under as he goes through there. He should not be standing right in front of Mark Courier. He should be using angles because Courier is
right again. The second right clipped him.
If your opponent's going to stand right in front of you, why would you do the same thing? Take the angle and make him pay.
Damage already on the face of Mark Courier.
Well, there's damage. Take a look at the left eye. Right underneath it, you can see that he's touched Schoenfelder, and he's got a little damage there, too.
Lead left jab. Courier's got some shots in here.
He has. Right here, Bailey Schoenfelder should be using angles. Quit staying down the center line with a guy who's got heavy hands and is willing to stand and trade with you based upon that's his advantage.
I was just about to say before the level change, he's not using the superior athleticism until then.
No, he's becoming a brawler with a brawler.
Right.
You can see that Mark Courier is a guy that likes to brawl. He's strong. He's got heavy hands. If you go straight into him, you're giving him the ability to hurt you.
And all fighters, most fighters are stubborn anyway. If you're Schoenfelder, you say, I can train with this guy, but that doesn't make it the right idea. Yes, you could beat him that way.
Possibly, but you're
right.
always looking to say, why do I want to play into the game plan, game style of my opponent? Mark Courier is very linear in his attacks, and he's good right there. He throws that combination, lands the left and the right. Anything that's straight down the pipe for him, he's going to try to touch.
And again, there's the level change in the takedown. Schoenfelder has gotten the better of the exchanges, but he's taken more damage than he should.
Yes, I agree with you completely. This is the moment right here that's going to say a lot. How heavy a hip right does he have? Does he allow Courier to come back up? When you're talking about heavyweights on the ground, very few are good off of their back. But they all have power from the top.
Get the hooks in.
A little high.
Yeah, way too high. At least he knew it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark Courier's left eye is swelling up. It looks like he might have a damaged orbital. The way that thing is swelling up real fast. Right here is where you, if you're in Schoenfelder's corner, you want to talk about using footwork to create the angles, and he's not.
He is content to trade with Courier, and this is a courageous first round for Mark Courier. with big shots early. Schoenfelder giving away his natural advantages. He's made an entertaining fight for everybody watching, except in his corner.
Exactly so. And this is where I tell people, when you're in the corner, this is the worst thing that can happen because your guy is not fighting the way that you have trained him to fight. You've talked about taking angles like that right there. That's going to help you up. And then they stand right there and brawl, and you go, what are you thinking? But that's just part of a young fighter right now. A lot of shoulder pressure there. This is a Von Flucho. We'll see if Courier can make it through it. Getting into that half guard is going to help him survive. Nice job by Mark Courier.
People who don't know it, they're using the shoulder.
You're using, and also with the trapping of the arm, his own shoulder on the other side is starting to put pressure on his carotid.
Which is Gordon Soley all taught us, is what will put you to sleep in the sleeper hold. That was a really impressive first round in so many ways from a courageous standpoint for Courier, because he took that uppercut, started it.
Now I'll tell you what, to make it through that uppercut, that hit, and that hit's solid, and that is not an easy shot to take. Take a look at these. He's backing off, but man, he has got a chin and he is tough. When it comes to being straightforward, he will brawl with you. This was one of the smarter moments for Schoenfelder. Change that level, get into taking him down, stop getting into the brawl.
This is the conversation that, to me, had to be had at the end of the first round, is in the corner of Schoenfelder. Like, hey, that was great. You landed some good shots. Stop doing what you're doing.
That is it.
All right, we're good. Good.
Checking that vision in the left eye. So you want it to be a fight.
Mark, are you ready? Bailey, you ready? Let's get after it.
Still Schoenfelder's round, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. Billy Schoenfelder won that round, but you can see as he comes out, even though he's still standing in front of his opponent, his hands were higher at the start of the round. Now they're going back down towards his waist.
Keeps taking shots right along the center line. We're going to talk about that later in the rematch between Justine Kish and Deanna Bennett. Not moving, staying on that center line.
And you can see how flat-footed Mark Courier is. Look, he's not a real fast guy, but if you come down that center line with him, he's going to throw.
Schoenfelder scoring takedowns, but he hasn't really been able to do as much with them as you would think.
Well, now he's in a good position. He's got that arm triangle set up as long as he can pass over.
Step over right.
He's lost the arm triangle, but in a good position right now to do some damage. Now he's got the back.
Flattens him out.
Very nice job of flattening him out. That's important in this. You see Courier is trying to turn. Schoenfelder was trying to stop it. Nice job by Courier to turn, even though he's still open to be hit. He's trying to turn back around. You're seeing Schoenfelder trying to go to a figure four. It's hard to do when you're a heavyweight. A lot bigger waist.
Schoenfelder in full mount and over 3 minutes to work with it.
A lot of time on the clock. This is a bad position right now for Courier.
Sort of punctuating what we were saying about the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can see Courier is a brawler, man. He is tough. He will take shots. He's working. He has not stopped attempting to get out of this position and continue on in the fight.
Now Schoenfelder really laying him in. He's done a lot of damage from the top.
He's got that locked in. He's trying to peel that arm off. Schoenfelder needs to get that arm behind the head. He can still, there you go. I was going to try to say, he can still get that choke with the one arm. It just needs to be deep enough. He needs to reach up towards his shoulder and his trap area.
Schoenfelder changed his strategy. got less stubborn in round 2, and he walks away with a win.
Smart. He was able to get the takedowns in the first round. That's where he did good work and wasn't damaged. He went back to it in round 2. Smart fight.
You could see the fragments of this, the beginning of it, when you'd see in bits and pieces in the first round. Second round, it was all about.
Absolutely. Here you see he gets that rear naked choke. Courier tries to peel off that locking arm, and he does. But in the end, take a look at the right arm of Bailey Schoenfelder. It is around the neck. You see how deep it is, and then he locks it in palm to palm. That's where he gets the pressure. That's where he gets the tap.
So much time peeling that left arm off that the right arm just got in deeper. Bailey Schoenfelder had to go to the second round for the first time. High level of coaching, work he did with Len Purcell paid big dividends here in round number 2. Full marks to Mark Courier for lasting as long as he did, especially after that uppercut in the opening minute. Michael C. Williams will make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Round number 2, the winner by submission, Berserk, Bailey Schoenfelder.
Undefeated, Bailey Schoenfelder, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher, goes to 3-0, and his reward is not only a win, it's a chat with Big John McCarthy.
I am here with your winner, Bailey Schoenfelder. Bailey, that was a tough brawl, especially that first round when you were standing toe-to-toe with him, and he was given and he was taken just like you.
Yeah, that was the most fun I've had so far. That was awesome. Much respect to him. That was a hell of a fight. He's a slugger. He can take a punch. That was beautiful.
Let me ask you a question about what puts you in a position to be able to take that kind of stuff. Working with a camp like you are and the guys that you're training with, how much does that help you when you have tough moments in here to just work your way through them?
It's everything. Every day I go to practice with these guys at Sanford. I'm fighting for my life. Like, it's real. I might as well be in the cage. All those guys are killers.
So let me ask you, was it Coach Greg Jones that said you did great when you went through with the takedown? Let's go back in round 2 and go back to the takedown. And that was a beautiful job of getting the back.
Yes, sir. That's where it's at. I wanted to box a little bit, but might as well go back home eventually.
I would say that getting the win by submission was an outstanding victory. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up and clap your hands together for Bailey Schoenfelder.
Nothing like Big John getting to the heart of it, getting to the truth of it. Yeah, I wanted to box. We noticed, Bailey. We noticed. That's why this took a little longer than maybe it could have, but well, I said full marks to Mark Courier for lasting as long as he did, but Bailey Schoenfelder continues his march forward. A big-time camp with that big-time coaching staff you see he's got as he improves to 3-0. That's just a little taste of the heavyweight action we've got for you later. The former interim champion Valentin Moldavsky coming up later on tonight on the main card. But Amanda, that's not the only heavyweight fight we'll have our eyes on.
No, it is not. The crowd loves the heavyweights. We love the heavyweights because of the power. As you mentioned, we have 2 heavyweight fights on our main card coming up tonight. You mentioned one of them. Let's talk about the other, because I promise you, this is going to be so powerful. You will hear these punches coming through your TV, your stream, however you're going to be watching it. We're talking about Saeed Soma versus Gorkan Sarıcam. When you take a look at the rankings there, you see Soma coming in at number 10. If he can win this in dominant fashion, get a couple more, he could be in line for a title fight. As for Sarıcam, he's not in the rankings right now. He was before that latest release. He wants to prove why he is one of the top fighters in this division. Gorkan Sarıcam, very interesting. He is fairly new to the world of MMA. He was a boxer. When he was 26 years old, he was working as a painter. He was working as a bouncer. He said, I started watching MMA videos on YouTube. That turned into competition, and that turned into training with some of the best in the world. And he is here tonight to prove what he has. Sean, you gotta love the heavyweights. We're so excited for them later this evening. For now, let's continue on with the prelims.
Yeah, Amanda, there was a time in Bellator that the heavyweight division was kind of just in flux. There wasn't a lot going on, and now there's almost too much going on to keep track of at the top, in the middle, and all throughout that top 10. But now we move to the middleweight division in a week in which, well, a lot of people are paying attention to former blue chip wrestlers in their first professional fight.
And now set to make his way to the cage, Keys Nelson.
Keys Nelson still looking for that first professional win. He wrestled at Midland University. I don't think it is any disrespect to Keys Nelson. He knows the situation he's in, and he knows he is the other guy right now because there is an awful lot of buzz, and rightly so, about the guy he's about to step into the cage with.
Absolutely. And, you know, that background in wrestling is going to help him a little bit, but he needs to think about, I don't need this to be a wrestling match. I need this to be an MMA fight. He needs to be smart about how he attacks his opponent in Pat Downey.
Good luck, sir.
Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on
A lot of people firing up the internet right now to see the guy who's about to make this walk.
A lot of people have been waiting for Pat Downey to make his MMA debut. He is a guy that has all of the attributes that you're looking for to be special in this sport. Got in trouble in wrestling a lot for fighting, so now he's going to get paid for it.
Ready now to make his first walk to the Bellator cage, Pat Downey.
The moment has arrived. He knows the eyeballs are on him. He wouldn't have it any other way. They've been on him really his whole life, which has been a mix of extraordinary athletic accomplishments in football, in wrestling, in amateur wrestling, in Olympic-style wrestling at the highest levels. But as you said, John, it has been mixed with 3 felony assault charges, the inability to control himself off the field, which has cost him his place on elite teams and elite career opportunities. And there are times that guys go into MMA because it is where their dream has been, where fate has led him. For some, it is their last chance. And there is no question that Pat Downey has what it takes to go all the way in this sport. But he has burned as many bridges as he has crossed.
He may have burned some, but yeah, he is an intense individual, and he has that. He will not give in to anyone attitude. His wrestling is absolutely top-notch. This is a guy that was on the world team. This is a guy that, you know, Pan American bronze medalist. He has done all. Wrestled for Iowa State. It is impressive that he took that wrestling and then went to gyms to learn jiu-jitsu. He has entered a ton of grappling competitions. He has competed against some of the best grapplers out there to make sure that he's not just a wrestler.
The tail of the tape at 185.
Coming into this at 186, that is the norm. You're going to see a lot of people using that 1 pound thing. 183.6 is a little bit light for Keys Nelson.
To Michael C. Williams.
For all those joining us tonight live in the UK on BBC iPlayer, we welcome you to the American Midwest as we get set here at Bellator 284 for 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. That's 6'2", weighing in 183.6 pounds. As the professional, he stands 0-3. He fights out of Nebraska. City, Nebraska, introducing Keys Nelson. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 186 pounds even tonight. He makes his much anticipated MMA and Bellator debut, fighting out of Little Haiti, Miami, Florida, by way of Baltimore, Maryland, presenting Pat Downey. In charge, your referee Kevin McDonald.
Ready to fight? Ready to fight? Let's go!
A new chapter begins. Pat Downey says wrestling wins fights. It's hard to explain, really. See, grappling immediately and the Strong takedown. The difference, being an NCAA All-American was an extraordinary accomplishment. But when you're talking about freestyle, Olympic level, this is a different place. Pat Downey went there, immediately steps over into full mount.
And like I said, right now he's going into a submission. It's going to be on.
Yep. He's got that's it.
Beautiful job of that, pushing that arm over. Gets the choke. And that's what I was talking about. He's not just a wrestler. He's turned into a submission grappler. He is dangerous on the ground.
It's going to be a story we're going to need a lot more than 35 seconds to tell. But Pat Downey has the first one under his belt.
Right here, Pat Downey gets the body lock, goes up, turns, beautiful takedown, and then immediately from this side control position, switches the arms, switches the hips, squeezes the elbow in. He's got the arm set where he wants, takes and puts pressure on it. You see the pressure creates that jump where he now jumps into the mount position, and he just holds on to that squeeze right over, gets it on tight, that arm going across the neck, choking with his own arm. Beautiful job by Pat Downey.
John, it's hard to meet expectations when this is set up the way it was, yet he did.
Yeah. You know, it is tough because there's been so long for him at this point to get in here. Now he has. Now he knows what it's like.
Get used to it. It is just the beginning. His first professional win, and he will hear Michael C. Williams make it clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 36 seconds into round number one. The tap by way of an arm triangle choke. The winner by submission, Pat Downey.
The man of the hour, whose anticipated debut lasts just 36 seconds, is with John McCarthy.
I'm here with your winner, Pat Downey. Pat, you've had a long road to get into this cage. A lot of things have occurred. You turned yourself from a wrestler into a submission grappler. You just proved it by getting that very fast arm triangle. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I feel like it's a dream come true. I've always said it's never a matter if, only when. And as y'all see, there is no tomorrow. Today's the Pat Downey Show. This win was for my grandfather. Rest in peace, Pat Downey. It's more to come, baby. Bellator middleweights, be on notice. I'm coming for all you motherfuckers.
I think that says it all, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Pat Bunky Downey.
Everywhere he has been in his life, he has made impact. And he does in his professional MMA debut. Camera shy, yes, but extremely talented in everything he has ever done. And the opening chapter of the Pat Downey Show here in Bellator does not disappoint. Pat Downey gets a win in his professional debut. You can just add him to the list of undefeated prospects. One of them, Sullivan Cauley, coming up next.
From the gym to the streets, Bellator fans head to BellatorShop.com and gear up in the same apparel the fighters wear.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it.
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
But he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Mckee Gracie
Get out.
versus Brazilian black belt Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
Welcome back here to Bellator 284. We have two beloved flyweights going at it tonight. Number 4 there, you see her, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, the former champ. It has been a tough road for her. She hurt her leg. She took time off trying to figure out what is next in her life and decided she wanted to keep fighting, but she eventually lost her last fight when she came back to Justine Kish. The woman she was going up against, also very beloved here at Bellator. We're talking about Bruna Ellen. Now, here's the thing with Bruna Ellen. We haven't seen her for about a year, but I have to tell you, when we talked to her this week, the energy coming off her is absolutely electric. She said she took the past year off to work on a couple things when it came to her fighting, but she called it the best moment of her life. She says, physically, I know my body better than ever. She said, mentally, I am fierce. Now, we asked her, how does this fight end? All she did was put her fist in the air, and she said, with me winning, she said, I am here to pave my way to become the champion, and it begins tonight with Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. Sean, I do want to toss it back down to you, and I want to mention, I know you're going to go through some highlights here. I think the mullet is back, and I've decided my hair kind of looks like a mullet. I think we could maybe get Big John to get on board with that. Maybe he's willing to grow his out too.
Luckily for both of us, our mullet days are long since behind us, which is, you know, when the ability is taken away, it's probably good that the choice is no longer.
Absolutely. It's just something that, you know what, when you don't have no choice, it's good.
All right, speaking of having no choice, real talk time when it comes to Ilima-Lei Macfarlane here. A fighter we have watched from the beginning, a fighter we know personally probably too well, right, in a lot of different ways. A lot of conversation here over the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months. Now, is it that she's truly reached that point where she is looking beyond her career, or are people overreacting to really what was one bad performance? She's lost 2 in a row, but she lost a championship fight to an elite level fighter when she lost the title. But the last fight obviously wasn't a great performance. There were injuries involved in that. So is tonight the night we find out which way she's leaning?
I really do think that tonight is the night that we find out which way it's going, because you never know exactly how healthy the fighter is. And we knew going into her last fight there were issues. Has she been able to fix those issues? Has she been able to get healthy and get herself ready to come back and put on a performance like we are used to seeing from her? It is the unknown, and we're going to find out tonight, because she's going to go against someone in Bruna Ellen that is very good in the stand-up. It is the ground game that has made Ilima-Lei who she is. You know, submission wins against people like Alejandro Lara, Valerie Letourneau. You know, all of these wins she did in just an incredible fashion.
John, she willed herself to so many of these wins, and that's the thing. If that is gone, she's no longer Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, the world champion. She needs that will to become the elite fighter that she was.
Absolutely, and the real thing is, we've seen, look, if there's anybody that can handle pressure, we know it's Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. She has handled things in ways that I thought there's no way she's going to come through this after like that walkout or things, and she's crying, and then puts on an incredible performance. But injuries slow down everyone. Injuries make difference in your ability to do the same things in the fight. And if those injuries have not been taken care of, she might be in a position where she's unable to perform to the level that we are accustomed to seeing her perform at.
And here's the thing, you know, we think about Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, we're thinking about her from 5 years ago. You think about Bruna Ellen, we may be thinking about the same thing. She was 21 years old 5 years ago. She is developing, continuing to develop as a fighter, and are those two paths here kind of coming together to where maybe this isn't a mismatch that a lot of people think it might be?
That is one of the things when you look at Bruna Ellen, she is still so young, but she's so technically good. And the one thing she said when we talked to her at the fighter meetings is, look, I've never been in a better place when it comes to me physically and mentally. I am now growing up. I've grown up in this sport. I know exactly what I can do and how to do it. And now I'm not just a stand-up fighter. I am good and comfortable on the ground. I am willing to take my opponents to the ground and to get submission wins. That makes her a dangerous person, because now she has confidence everywhere.
And as Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, how confident is she in her body? Because it's the health at this point that there are a lot of question marks surrounding. People like to talk about the will because that's a fun topic, but is her body healthy enough to continue to fight the way she needs to fight?
And that's the real question. I'm going to put it straight out. She missed weight. She came in at 125 pounds.
It wasn't close.
For a 125-pound fight, and so that's saying, were you able to actually get yourself in shape the way you normally did, or was it the injuries that slowed you down and made it not possible for you to make weight?
It's funny, when we go live on Showtime at 9 o'clock Eastern, a lot of people are saying, well, there's no title fights on this card. This is more fascinating in a lot of ways because almost every fight is a fighter that's coming off a significant loss in a title fight, which puts you at a very critical point in your career. And one after the other, with major title implications coming up.
Absolutely, because you could put yourself right back into contention, or you could take a massive step backwards.
We just saw Pat Downey make his MMA debut and made a huge impact, adding himself to the list of undefeated young fighters in Bellator. And we're about to see another one, and where the chips don't get much bluer than Sullivan Cauley here, the protege of Ryan Bader. Light heavyweight division, which was property of Ryan Bader for a while till he moved on to heavyweight. Now the question is, who are the next big prospects at 205? And Sullivan Cauley has not disappointed to this point.
On his way now to the Bellator cage, we welcome Tyson Jeffrey.
It's been a minute for Tyson Jeffrey since he stepped into the cage. A very experienced fighter, but he's been away for a while. His American top team in Portland. It's his second fight in Bellator. In the first one, Joe Warren was in the main event. It was back in 2013. The first time he fought in Bellator. He got the call for this one. And it is the interesting thing about watching these young fighters is what happens when they face someone. Everyone almost by definition is more experienced, but this is a dramatic difference in experience.
Absolutely it is, and you're talking by looking at, you know, a guy in Tyson Jeffries here. He's got a ton of experience. That experience can get him through bad situations where Sullivan Cauley has not had those. Everything has gone the way he's wanted to go in the cage so far. Is it going to be the experience of Jeffries that puts him over against the guy that athletically is probably superior in Cauley?
And now set to make his way, Sullivan Cauley.
Following in the footsteps of Ryan Bader, 3 wins, all in the first round. And last time we saw Sullivan Cauley, I think it's safe to say John landed a big fish.
Yeah, landed a big fish. Sullivan Cauley is the real deal. This guy's got wrestling, he's got boxing, he's got Muay Thai. This guy's got over 20 boxing and Muay Thai fights under his belt already. So it's not like we do look at that 3-0 record as a mixed martial artist, but he's got more there, and he's got Joe Jordan behind him. Great coach, a guy who's fought big-time fights before. Sullivan Cauley, all he has to do is continue to move forward and be the guy who uses everything, and that's what makes him so good in the cage. His wrestling, right here against Ben Parrish, big-time shot, and then heavy hip ride, just keeps on pounding out to the point where referee ends up stopping the fight based upon Parrish not doing anything to change the position. He's just a punching bag. Sullivan Cauley's the real deal, and he's here to prove it again tonight.
Tail of the tape at 205, which is a new weight for Tyson Jeffries, who has fought at pretty much every weight class there is.
Quite a few, like you were talking about earlier. Look at 3-0, not a ton of experience, but does have a lot of other experience in other combat sports against 24 fights of experience in Tyson Jeffries.
To Michael C. Williams.
Tonight, Bellator MMA is back in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Here at the prelims tonight, we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 201.8 pounds. His professional record, 14 wins, 10 losses, fighting out of Severance, Colorado, Tyson, the anti-hero, Jeffrey. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'3", weighing in 205.4 pounds as a professional. He's undefeated, 3 victories, no defeats. He fights out of Mesa, Arizona, Sullivan Cauley. Marty Wambacher.
Tyson, are you ready? Sullivan, are you ready? Let's get after it.
We've already seen an amateur fight tonight. We talked about being on the big stage. Sullivan Cauley, a couple of these fights have been at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. Big stage, fighting at home.
Nice job by Tyson Jeffries in getting in on Sullivan Cauley, driving him back, looking to keep that takedown. Let's go.
Sullivan Cauley was off balance. Jeffries saw it right away.
This is where footwork is so important. You got to keep that balance at all times.
We saw so many guys, men and women, who were away from the cage, had a lot of the rust because of the pandemic. But this is a different deal. I mean, Tyson, you're 4 years away. There's only so much you can simulate.
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand the difference between training speed and fight speed and the way it looks. Sullivan Cauley, as a light heavyweight, very heavy as far as his ability to stay on top, but he's fast, man, and he's got good speed in his hands, and that makes him a difficult person to deal with.
Trying to sneak the uppercut in. Cauley throws him. Oh, his knees, and the third one's going to do it. Wow. He doubled up and then tripled up. And now backs it up. A new club in the bag of Sullivan Cauley knocks out Tyson Jeffries.
Yeah, but he set all of that up with the jab. The jab was the difference. That's what started to take over the stand-up area of the fight. Started to put him in position. Then he got into the clinch, then lands the knees. But the jab was something that he started to go to. That beautiful left jab, right hand. That gets Jeffries' attention. Now he starts to push him back. The knee comes up. That one misses. But once he gets the head, gets this nice plum.
Yeah, the tie
comes
plum.
up right there. He is in trouble, and he lands one more, but it wasn't even needed.
There's a reason we talk about reach, and we show you reach, because it gives you a chance to do that. Tie clinch along the fence. Happy heavyweight champion. So Sullivan Cauley's one-loss record improves, but his cage time doesn't go up by that much. 4-0, all first-round finishes. Michael C. Williams has the official time. It wasn't much.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 1 minute, 39 seconds into round number 1 for the winner by knockout, still undefeated Sullivan Cauley.
It's taken him less than 12 minutes to score his first 4 professional wins. Let's see how long he lasts here with John McCarthy.
I'm here with your winner, Sullivan Cauley. Sullivan, we talk about getting after a fight and proving who you are and putting on finishes. That was just one hellacious finish right there.
Thank you. I mean, I say it all the time. I don't fight recklessly, but I fight aggressively. I come to put people away.
When you talk about fighting recklessly, let's talk about the start of that fight, because he landed a couple of good shots and you went right to your jab, and your jab seemed to set things up for you from the rest of the fight on.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason it's, boxing 101. The jab works, sets everything up, stops the guy in the tracks, disrupts his rhythm. I mean, jab's one of my best weapons.
When you got that Muay Thai plum and his head went down right away, you went to the knee. You even went to a second one, wasn't even needed. He was out standing up. Did you know that that was going to be one of your ways to finish this fight?
No, we freestyle on the pads. We try to be real adaptable. I see an opening and I take it. That's kind of what that was.
You've come into this cage and you've been just impressive with every showing, more and more every time. You're moving up. Who is it that you should be fighting in this cage next?
I'm more about when. October 1st, I know you guys are going to Long Beach. I know later you're going to Chicago. Put me on one of those cards. I want to be back in here soon. Let's go.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a very impressive performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sullivan Cauley.
4 undefeated young fighters. Mitchell Mckee, Bailey Schoenfelder, Pat Downey, Sullivan Cauley. 4 consecutive wins, all in the first round. And we're just getting started here in Sioux Falls.
Hey, Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today. The new Bellator MMA app is here. New look, new features, new fights. Watch live weigh-ins and prelims. Share your fight picks. Earn points and badges as you rank up to the heavyweight division. And stay up to date on events, rankings, and news. For all the latest features, download the new Bellator MMA app. Available on the App Store and Google Play.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it.
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
But he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Neiman Gracie.
Get out.
Versus Brazilian black belt Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
Still undefeated, Steve Mowry.
Let's go! Steve Mowry dropping the hammer fist.
He's taking a nightmare. I'm the fucking boogeyman. Now he's
It's all over. Another submission win by Kimura for Steve Mowry.
Steve Mowry is the real deal.
Everybody else in the top 10. We can do it. We got business. He enters tonight as the #1 ranked contender,
He just physically is very fast. He's very strong. He's a dynamic fighter.
Another shot right on the button. He's in big trouble. Moldavsky pouring it on, and it's over. Another win for Team Fedor. It belongs to Valentin Moldavsky. Time was a little quiet in the heavyweight division in Bellator. That time seems a long way away now. Valentin Moldavsky, a year ago, John, you and I saw him win the interim heavyweight title, have the showdown with Ryan Bader to unify the titles that Ryan Bader won. Meanwhile, now he turns over his shoulder. Here is another undefeated fighter who's been very impressive on his way up, now facing his toughest test into the co-main event here tonight. And, you know, for Valentin Moldavsky, you lose your championship fight. Well, you lose tonight, you lose your spot up at the top of that division, and suddenly we're talking about Steve Mowry here in a division that still has Lenton Vassell, and with Ryan Bader as a champion, still has that other guy. I forget his name. It was something Russian. I forget it. But Fedor, obviously, listen, we all know what's going on here. Fedor wants Ryan Bader. I don't think that's talking out of school to say that. So that could be on the horizon. If it isn't immediately on the horizon, and who knows, with the world being what the world is right now, if Ryan Bader's next title fight is not going to be against Fedor, then it may very well be against the winner of this one.
It absolutely could. Lenton Vassell's right there, like you're saying. But Valentin Moldavsky knows that I need to win this fight. This is a very important fight for me, not only because it's going to keep me where I'm at in the top of the rankings, but it's against an undefeated guy, a guy that's never had that mark put against him in Steve Mowry, a guy who is 10-0 with 10 finishes. That says a lot about who Moldavsky is as a fighter.
Well, that's the key, the 10 finishes, because if our buddy Josh were here, he would talk about winning impressively, and that's the thing. So I say to you, Valentin Moldavsky, in my view, to get back in the title picture, doesn't need to win. He needs to win impressively.
And that's what we're talking about. You're absolutely right, because what we're talking about is Steve Mowry has been impressive. 10 wins, 10 stoppages. That's everything you could ask for as a promoter. When you're talking about Moldavsky, he's so good everywhere, but at times when he is winning, he just continues to do what he's doing because it's working. When there's the opportunity to finish, let me just keep doing what I'm doing. Go for the finish. You've got to have those finishes so a promoter goes, I want you to fight for my heavyweight title. I want you to possibly be my champion because you're exciting.
And these are the fighters all scrambling for a place in line. Amanda, do you know anybody else you might be hanging out with that has a little interest in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, someone who doesn't have his bling on him, and we weren't necessarily expecting him. We're so excited you're here, your champ, Ryan Bader. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight.
100%. Here to support my boy Sully. Got a win out there, so we're here.
Tell us what life has been like for you since becoming the champ.
Nothing's different. I'm not the guy that I'm the champ, whatever. I have 3 kids, wife, family life. That's my job. I love to compete. I go do that. I come out home and I'm a father, husband, everything.
We have 2 heavyweight bouts on the main card tonight. One of them with a little bit more implication here with Valentin Moldavsky going up against tall Steve Mowry. Talk to us, about Moldavsky first. What is his tactic in this fight tonight?
So Moldavsky, he's one of the toughest guys I've fought, right? He'll come in, he has good boxing, and he can keep you on that cage. He can dictate the fight. You have a variable with, Mowry. He's super tall and long, right? So if Moldavsky can cover that distance, get down there, get in the cage, do his boxing, I think Moldavsky will win, but Mowry's like the variable in there, right? You never fucking know. Never know.
He's 6'8", very, very tall. And you mentioned the reach there. He's undefeated right now, 10-0. Is his tactic to use that reach? What is it?
Yeah, you have to have distance, right? And he's going to use his jab and his knees and all that kind of stuff. And Moldavsky's going to come in and try to get a body lock on him. But you'll see Mowry use his knees a little bit, use his distance. If he has distance, he'll win this fight. If you let Moldavsky get in on you, Moldavsky will win that fight too.
You're a family man. You're enjoying life. We love to see you in the cage, though. Who do you want to face next?
I have somebody in my mind, Lynn Vassell. I fought him before. He came up to heavyweight. He's been on a streak. He's fought everybody. He's been winning. And so that's probably who you'll see me fight next.
I guarantee you somebody is getting this to him as we speak. Ryan Bader, thank you so much for joining us. Have fun tonight here at Bellator 284.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
How refreshing is it to hear somebody actually say a name?
Oh, it's great.
I don't care who I face next. It doesn't matter. Whatever Scott Coker wants to do. No, I want to face this guy.
It's all about what Scott Coker wants. It's impressive because he has fought Lynn, but Lynn, in my opinion,
he's a new guy.
As a light heavyweight, was not as good a fighter. Same as I believe that Ryan Bader, as a light heavyweight, is not as good because they were losing too much weight. They lost too much of themselves in cutting that weight. And as heavyweight, they don't have to worry about it. They match up incredibly well. It would be an outstanding heavyweight battle.
All right, from heavyweight on the men's side, we make the natural transition to flyweight on the women's side, where Liz Carmouche is now the champion following that controversial stoppage in the championship win over Juliana Velasquez. Now, Deanna Bennett wasn't thrilled to have to rematch Justine Kish, who she beat already, but this is the way that the cards are falling here to keep her place in line. It was either not fight or take this fight again. So now, usually you think of the loser with the chip on their shoulder. Instead, it's Deanna Bennett who kind of has the chip on her shoulder about this.
Yeah, and here you can see Deanna Bennett, outstanding wrestling. She has lived off of her wrestling. She has fought Justine Kish. She knows that Justine has power in the stand-up and is very good in the stand-up game, but she has the blueprint on how to beat her, and that is to go back to the wrestling. She needs to do that. Sometimes, when you're talking about fights, matchmakers have fighters, but they come off because of injuries and things like that, and sometimes just things fall in this way. And if you want to fight, I got a fighter that wants to fight you, but you've got to fight the same girl that you fought in your last fight, and that's what Deanna Bennett is doing.
And don't forget, we have Mma McFarland, Bruna Ellen coming up, so we're going to sort out the deck, obviously, in that bantamweight division coming up a little bit later on. It's a fascinating time. I think it's so many of these divisions, but women's flyweight is a really interesting one because we've been looking at Mma for so long. Everyone is looking at her now going, are you in or are you out?
That is exactly it. And there's so many other ladies who are knocking on the door saying, I want to be that next person in line for a title fight.
So now with Liz Carmouche at the top of the heap, Vitamin D take the next step up in line.
And now ready to make her way to the cage, Justine the Machine Kish.
And because it's the nature of things, 99% of the conversation was about Mma McFarland losing and not Justine Kish winning. I get it. That's the way things go. But obviously she fought a really good fight. And whether Mma was in, none of that matters. It was Justine Kish who was in position to win that fight. And people look at her record, which is 8-5, but she has been fighting in the UFC or Bellator pretty much her entire career. She's had a fascinating life. She's been fighting in many ways her entire life. And, you know, Vitamin D may not be too thrilled with this rematch, but Justine Kish is, you have to prove yourself in this division by beating fighters like her.
Absolutely. Deanna Bennett is not thrilled with this because she knows how good and tough Justine Kish is. Justine Kish now knows, look, for me to get a win against Deanna Bennett, I need to move. I need to utilize my footwork. I need to keep this on the outside. And when Deanna Bennett comes in for that takedown, I need to make her pay. We'll see if that game plan will work for her.
Justine Kish, born in St. Petersburg, Russia. She was adopted at age 4 by American parents. Considered herself an American from that moment forward. Changed her name, changed her life. She has been a very difficult opponent. She's trained with Chris Cyborg.
And now to make her way to the cage, Deanna Vitamin D Bennett.
Now the veteran with some quality wins on that resume, including Alejandra Lara, including Justine Kish, but also Juliana Pena. Recently dethroned UFC bantamweight champion. Fought so many of the major promotions. Being familiar to fans on The Ultimate Fighter. And I think part of her impatience, and I get this too, when you're 37 years old, it's, hey, tick-tock, the clock, I want my shot, I want it now.
Absolutely. The talk, when you look at it, the clock is ticking. If you are Deanna Bennett and you've come into Bellator, you had your first fight, it was against Liz Carmouche. You actually had really good moments in it. You ended up losing the fight. But since that point, you've been undefeated. You have put on great performances. You have absolutely dominated good fighters. How many more do I have to put on before you give me my shot?
And you feel, well, I had good moments. I can beat Liz Carmouche. Oh, wait, look who's the champion.
Hello.
Tail of the tape, and we're going to be talking about missing weight here with a couple of these flyweight fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And before in the past, Deanna Bennett had problems making weight. Beautiful job of making weight at 125.2. Justine Kish misses weight by that 3 pounds. That is not good. That is what your job is make that weight.
To Michael C. Williams.
For all of you in the UK staying with us late night tonight on BBC iPlayer, we go now here at the prelims to 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing first the blue corner at 5'5", weighing in 128.4 pounds. Her professional record, 8 wins, 5 losses. From Los Angeles, California, Justine the Machine Kish. And across the cage, her adversary out of the red corner. At 5'4", weighing in 125.2 pounds. As a professional, 12 victories, 7 defeats with 1 draw. Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Vienna, Vitamin D Bennett. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Ready to fight? Justine, you ready to fight? Let's go!
First things first, yay or nay on the Kevin McDonald Fu Manchu?
It is so outstanding.
It is distracting. Now, Justine Kish is good on her feet, but in the first fight, she stayed right down that center line, and you made a great point about it, John. She's got the Muay Thai background, which can kind of keep you in that spot.
It can, and it can square you off. It's being squared off, and you're going to see Justine actually try to use that squaring off to stop the takedown attempts of Deanna Bennett. What she needs to do is remain relaxed and wait for those counters when she can land her shots, and when she has Deanna Bennett come in for those takedowns, she's got to make her pay. The one thing that we have been seeing out of Deanna Bennett in the last couple of fights is she has not been just shooting from the outside. She's using her hands to set up those takedowns, and that makes her much more effective.
It is unusual to face someone that not only you have faced before, but so recently. It's a lot of rounds and a lot of minutes in with the same fight.
Yeah, well, where it's really unusual is normally that comes because of championship fights. Right. That, we're close. There was, a very tight fight. Something happened, so we're going to rematch them because it was so good, so exciting. The first fight was a good fight. It was an exciting fight, but it's not normal to just have that rematch. But Justine Kish has added an additional fight in beating Ilima McFarland in between.
Hands up, build it.
Heard the coaching come in, hands up.
And one of the things you'll hear from all the ladies that end up fighting Justine Kish is how physically strong she is. Here she's going for the takedown against Deanna Bennett. When she came in wearing those knee sleeves, I was looking at them saying, well, it either means one of two things. You actually want to go to the ground at times, or you have a knee injury, and I don't think she has the knee injury. Justine looking towards the standing arm triangle. She's not going to get it with the arm position the way it is, but she's just holding on right now, controlling this position.
It's interesting that you have the choice to wear the things on your knees, and you have to make that decision because some fighters are comfortable fighting the weight, but it almost seems like, why wouldn't you?
I'm telling you, especially with as rough as the canvas can be, what it does to your knees when you're down there, it's almost like it would be an automatic. Nice job by Deanna Bennett getting that takedown. Look, her trying to lace that leg to keep Justine Kish's feet up off of the ground. Nice. You see how she's using her head as a third arm to drive her over to the side, putting her back on the canvas.
Justine Kish, that was really more defensive. Now she's in a tough spot trying to get up against the fence.
Nice heavy hips by Deanna Bennett. She's trying to step over that leg. Sweet move by Deanna Bennett.
Look at that, slick. Justine Kish, she's got some problems here.
Heavy shot she's taking.
She's only got one way to get out.
Deanna doing a nice job of riding her through. Now her feet, she can't get the same push off of that cage.
And then throwing the shoulder, trying to get Justine Kish to open up.
Justine Kish was holding on to those gloves, trying to make it so Deanna could not open up.
shots. Justine Kish has to get out of there. She knows it.
This is what happens with levels. There goes the feet off of the ground. Nice job by Justine to get her hips back.
Bennett's a little high here. She's a lot high.
And her arm is stuck in there.
Justine Kish survives the first round, but one dominated by Deanna Bennett.
Trying to use a wizard there. It's not going to work in the position it's at.
A little swagger.
A lot of swagger.
She really, Deanna Bennett really came to this fight to see the damage that Justine Kish took in that first round. With, as I said, a chip on her shoulder, which you don't normally get from the fighter that won the first fight, but she was not happy. She spoke about it publicly this week.
Getting up, we worry about your neck.
Did Deanna Bennett about having to fight Justine Kish.
You're doing good. I'm moving your head.
Again.
We're connecting that hand.
And again, if you want what you want, you have to make the statement. And so far, she has.
Yeah, you see right here was when everything turned. Deanna Bennett does a nice job of getting in on the legs. You see her keep the feet up off of the ground. She made a beautiful transition into the mount here. Justine Kish trying to use the fence from the mount, landed big shots.
Seconds out.
A very, very well-fought round by Deanna Bennett.
Over there. Back up for him.
So now, if you're Justine Kish, you're thinking, I've fought Deanna Bennett 4 rounds here, and I really haven't been close to winning 1 of the 4.
Yeah, it really becomes down to that. In the back of your mind, it gets that, I can't stop her takedown. When she decides to actually go for it, I'm having a hard time stopping it. What can I do differently? And I would tell you, the footwork needs to be a big part of this. Justine cannot stand flat-footed right in front of her. She needs to take and use her footwork to create angles where she can throw shots and keep it so Deanna cannot take that straight shot into it.
Let her see what you're doing.
And you're kind of seeing Justine do what I'm talking about. You see her trying to circle.
Yeah.
That keeps Deanna from being able to take that, just a change of level and drive into her for the takedown.
But again, all defensive, and as a wise man once taught me in this sport, you don't score points on defense.
And you do not. It is all about your offensive output. You've got to do damage. And for Justine Kish, right now, I think she needs to start to get a little bit of the respect back from Deanna Bennett.
Yeah, hey, you got to build it. You have to build the combination. You're doing good. You got to act.
And you can see, watching Deanna Bennett, she's listening to her coaches. She's acknowledging when they say stuff. She's in the groove right now, and that's why she's been winning fights.
Vision with Denise Keelholz, Anna Watanabe. Of course, Juliana Velasquez and Liz Carmouche at the top. Justine Kish has not been able to move Bennett backwards at all. Justine Kish looks so much more tentative in the second round than she did at the start of the fight.
And that's all because of the fact when that takedown occurred, she was right back into the same position she was in the first fight and saying, I'm back here again. How do I get out of this?
Move your head outside. Move your head outside. Read it. Move your head outside. Move your head outside.
Coming from the corners, head move.
You're seeing Deanna Bennett actually have good head movement. When she comes inside, watch her head slip off the center line. She doesn't keep her head right there in the middle. Justine is most of the time keeping her head towards the middle. right there, in my opinion, Justine needs to throw. Instead of looking for that one big shot, don't look for the one shot. Look for the shots that are just going to put volume on her. Use that jab. Follow it up with combinations.
It feels, John, like her mind is all, don't get taken down.
It is. What it's doing is just that fact is limiting her offensive output. That was a nice combination there by Justine.
Not so much that she's turned up her defense, she's turned off her offense.
Exactly. Nice knee up by Deanna Bennett.
Keep the pressure. Just watch the counter. Build it. Put your hands up when you go in the kicks. And outside.
Nice left hook landed by Justine Kidd.
Best shot.
Back up off piece to her.
Prowling on the perimeter, looking for opportunities.
Do it again.
She's avoided the takedown, but she's done enough to win the round.
Well, during the last minute and a half of this round, she's landed some good shots.
20 seconds. Yeah. 20 seconds. Over. Yeah. 2 over. 10 seconds, Diana. 2 over. Yeah.
Interesting round to call, as the more aggressive fighter probably did not land the better shots.
Over here,
So you wanted to be a judge in this sport. These are the rounds that are fascinating.
They are.
It's so long, and your brain immediately goes to the last 90 seconds as opposed to the first 90 seconds.
All right, you can come back with the uppercut or you can come back with the overhand. Both work, okay? But you can't be just doing the double jab. Double jab is preparing for your combination.
Keep in mind it's a fight, so don't get relaxed in here. It's coming back to the face.
Look, don't put your pressure and come back to the middle. Keep the pressure, because then she's going to make the mistake. So you're putting pressure. When she put her hand down, you're walking back to the middle. Then she's feeling comfortable to put pressure on you
when
again.
we say do your thing, you gotta shoot.
You have to put her down.
You gotta secure the round.
You agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. She's putting pressure on her, but she's allowing Justine to use that lateral movement that we talked about to put herself back into the center of the cage, and that pressure is leading to nothing. I do think that Deanna Bennett needs to realize, I got to step it up a little bit. I have to do just a little bit more than just the pressure. Let me put more shots on, or let me work towards more of a takedown in this round.
Round 3. Hands up. Short. Lock it over there. That's it. She's waiting for you. Lock them out deep.
We are likely one round apiece here, headed into the third. Look for 6-7 minutes, like Justine Kish was not going to be able to solve this puzzle.
Think back to the first round and how, once the fight hit the ground, how dominant Deanna was. And you go, why are you not going back to that same game plan and getting this takedown? Because you've proven that you have better skills in that area that will make the fight easier for you.
Where's the head outside, Deanna?
That was nice.
Good right hand. Justine Kish has created this distance, and now she's operating better with it.
It's not about moving forward. It's about landing the cleaner and more effective shots.
This one is turned around at the end of the first round. Deanna Bennett walked back to her corner. She was moving her shoulder. She was walking with swagger, like, I got this.
This is a big moment right here in this fight.
It is. Kish stopped the take.
Nice job by Justine Kish to land the shot. Deanna changes, drops down for the single leg.
More time, Justine Kish can keep the fight here.
just about where she wants to be. She's going to try to clear her head so she can use it to drive forward.
Let's finish that. Let's finish that.
Great job by Justine to get herself back to her feet.
This fight may very well be decided right here if Justine Kish can stay on her feet.
Back that grip of the hip. Yeah, use your legs. Let's go.
It may not look like much, but this is where all the work, this is where all the extra miles and the extra cardio and the extra hours in the gym, this is where it pays off here in the final 2 minutes.
Now, if Deanna Bennett can clear her head out of here, she's going to get the takedown. Justine Kish keeps it down, and that's why she's still on her feet.
We got some drama here with 2 minutes to go.
She's working hard for this. Justine working a nice job of following through by Deanna. She needs to turn her hips. Deanna, at this point, if she turns her hips, she'll be able to come up in the top position. You see that 100% hold by Justine Kish with her arms on Deanna Bennett's right arm. That's what's kind of keeping Deanna Bennett in this position here. That's where she needs to turn. Right back up. Nice job by both ladies, but great job by Justine Kish to not settle.
This will come down to the final 90 seconds.
Let's go, Deanna. Let's go, Deanna.
A key fight to the top 10 in flyweight. Justine Kish has rallied. About to take this in a minute 15. They're talking. They're going to start throwing. Yes.
Good right hand.
Justine Kish has landed the better shots the last 2 rounds. There's no question about that. And that takedown that Deanna Bennett thought would be there the entire fight has not been in the last 2 rounds.
No, absolutely not. She got it in that first round, and since that time, Justine Kish has had good defense and stopping everything Deanna Bennett has tried to do and getting this fight back to the ground.
Nobody gave her a shot against Mma App in Hawaii. Didn't look like she had a shot after fighting 4 rounds against Deanna Bennett and losing all 4 badly. But what a turnaround in this one. Justine Kish survives a tough first round and dictates the final 10 minutes.
Nice right hand by Deanna Bennett.
That was good stuff.
Oh, she even cut her up with that right hand.
Both fighters confident this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. You were not having any. Hey, the bat.
They're still doing the math. This really is one of those fights, one of those MMA fights, and the judging comes down to how you view damage, how you view the old school idea of cage control, who landed the bigger shots, who controlled the fight. The only thing there is no question of is that Deanna Bennett won the first round. But you could make a compelling case that Justine Kish won the last 2. But did all 3 judges see it that way? The drama always grows when it takes this long to find out. My Michael C. Williams knows. Now we will all know.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Tom Allstott, Anthony Magnus, Brian Miner. All have it exactly the same at 29 to 28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Deanna Vitamin D Bennett.
Which of the last 2 rounds did the judges give Deanna Bennett? That gives her the unanimous decision, her 2nd straight win over Justine Kish, and a chance to move up at flyweight. She's with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Deanna Bennett. Deanna, your last fight was against Justine Kish. You knew that she's a tough fighter. You used her wrestling in that first fight to get the win. In the first round, you went back to that wrestling and you were dominant. And from that point, it wasn't as easy. Talk to me through that 2nd and 3rd round.
Yeah, you know, wrestling is my base. Wrestling is what I love. Anyone that trains with me knows that I love to pick people up and put them back down not so nicely. Honestly, I felt a little something in my shoulder in that first round, and it made it really hard to use my right arm. And it killed me because I really wanted to pick her up, and I tried, but my arm was just like, not today. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I can. And honestly, it's not the performance that I really wanted. I really wanted to finish. I wanted to make it exciting for everybody. Hopefully you liked it still. If not, you can yell at me later. I'm okay with that. Everyone yells at me anyway, so. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm happy to come out here and get the win, and pretty unscathed. Let's look at this.
Pretty unscathed. That's your 3rd win in a row. Your first fight here in the Bellator cage was against the now current champion in Liz Carmouche. Is that the fight that you want to get back to?
Absolutely. That is the fight that I want, and that's the fight that I've been waiting for. The first time I fought Liz, I got a hamstring injury that ended it, and that's why she was able to take my back. I feel like if my hamstring didn't pop, my arm wouldn't get raised at the end of that fight. And so that's the fight that I want. That's the fight that I absolutely have been waiting for and training for, and I will be back at the gym on Monday to train for that fight, and I'm going to do everything I can to get to there. I'll have to do better than I did tonight, again, sorry, but I'm prepared to put in the work and to do it.
I think you put in a great job of work. 3 fights in a row, outstanding.
Hi. I know you missed this. I have to pet you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the girl petting my head, Deanna Vitamin D Bennett.
See, now I'm sorry he doesn't have the mullet. Deanna Bennett gets her 3rd straight win. She makes her case to move up the ladder at flyweight in that top 10, but this one was a lot closer than her first win over Justine Kish. About 62 minutes from now, we're going live on Showtime. All eyes will be on that main event and the fascinating clash of styles and backgrounds and history between the Gracie family and the young man that idolized them, Yamauchi, an important title eliminator, really, in a lot of ways at heavyweight with Valentin Moldavsky and Steve Mowry. We talked about Alima Lay, McFarland, but the opener has gotten a lot of people's attention because Aaron Jeffrey is no short notice slouch, slipping in to take on Austin Vanderford, who the last time we saw in the Bellator cage was challenging Gegard Mousasi, falling short in that tough first round loss for the middleweight world title. And now the next time we will see him is right now with Amanda.
Back here in the locker room with Austin Vanderford, of course, we know coming off your first loss against Gegard Mousasi. I loved when we talked to you this week, though. You said it was a beautiful thing that you can learn from it. Talk to us a little bit about that and then your mindset going into tonight.
I mean, you know, I went in there and unfortunately it wasn't my night, and fortunate for Gegard it was his, and as he's done a lot in his career and whatnot, but it was a perfect opportunity for me to learn and get better and to come out here tonight and show, you know, what I've improved on.
Your opponent taking this fight on a little bit of short notice here. Did that change anything for you in the past week or so leading up to this?
No, I mean, we've got our game plan for what I'm gonna do, and it was the same thing for this guy. You know, go out there and get my hands on him and make him regret taking the fight.
And exactly, that's what I want to ask you, because he said, look, this is the biggest fight of my life here, but you want to squash those dreams just a little bit. You're a dynamic wrestler. Without giving away too much of your game plan, how do you squash those dreams of his tonight?
I just go out and do what I know I'm capable of doing and what I know our coaches have prepared for me to do, and you know, go out there and take care of business, and I feel good about it. I'm excited and look forward to getting out there.
Okay, if you get this win tonight, we know your teammate Johnny Eblen is the champ there. He beat Mousasi. What is next if you get this win?
For me right now, it's this fight in this moment, and I'm not really looking past this. And, you know, hats off to Johnny, and he's a great competitor too. And, you know, we'll talk about all that stuff in the future. But tonight, my focus is on Aaron Jeffrey and taking care of that.
Austin, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Austin Vanderford this week has religiously avoided any conversation about Johnny Eblen and a possible American top team clash for the championship, but instead he's got his hands full tonight in the opener, and that's a fight that a lot of hardcore MMA fans have said, well, that's kind of interesting late notice substitution here for Austin Vanderford to try to overcome in what is a comeback fight for him. Now, speaking of interesting young fighters, Marcos Breno is one of them. Josh Hill, the veteran, the Canadian on the other side. That's how we'll finish the prelims next.
From the gym to the streets, Bellator fans head to BellatorShop.com and gear up in the same apparel the fighters wear.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it,
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
but he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Neiman Gracie
Get out.
versus Brazilian black belt Koichi Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
Back here at Bellator 284 inside the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It has been an absolutely incredible night, and we are just getting started. Already a packed house here for the prelims, which have been absolutely incredible. But our main event tonight is not only incredible, it is historic. We have the man with the most submissions in Bellator history going up against the man whose family made them oh so special.
Jiu-Jitsu is life for me. I see Jiu-Jitsu everywhere. And I think that myself, without Jiu-Jitsu, I wouldn't be nothing.
There it is. Neiman Gracie wins again via submission.
Gracie's legacy.
Neiman Gracie representing the first family of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
The Gracies already proved that Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art against martial art. So I fight to keep the legacy of my family alive.
And the Gracie train keeps rolling.
My game plan is always Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
The Bellator MMA submission king, Gracie Yamauchi. Best grappler in Bellator. Yeah!
When I first saw Voice Gracie, I thought this little guy can beat giants inside the cage. He showed me that everything's possible.
And there's the tap! And the submission king adds another tap out to his impressive resume.
I've been training for this moment my entire life. Want to show my skills, my talent, and prove that I'm the best.
A jiu-jitsu clinic from start to finish for Koichi Yamauchi.
I'm gonna finish him and show the world I am the future of Jiu-Jitsu.
As as I mentioned, it is historic. Here's what we have. Goichi Yamauchi with the most submissions in Bellator history. He has 9 of them, 21, however, in his storied career. Naaman Gracie tied for second with the most at 7 in Bellator. Yamauchi may be from Japan, but he has made Brazil his home, and he has grown up idolizing the Gracie family. He said to get a submission versus a Gracie would mean the world to him. On the other side, Naaman Gracie says, look, I will take a win anyway, but by no means do I want to be submitted, which has never happened in his career. Sean, we'll send it back to you.
You're right, Amanda. There are so many fascinating elements to this fight, including the fact that while both have been specialists in stopping their opponent, neither have ever been stopped at this level. And that's the main event when we go live top of the hour on Showtime. In the meantime, a really fascinating fight here at 135. If you've been paying attention to some of the top Canadian fighters over the last few years, and a Brazilian prospect rising to the top.
Now to make his way to the And now to make his way, gentlemen, Josh Hill.
Right out of your closet he went to grab that.
That is fantastic.
It's an interesting time in Canadian MMA because there was George St. Pierre, there was Rory McDonald, and now there's that hole here. We talked about Aaron Jeffrey, who has a chance to score a major spotlight victory when we go live top of the hour on Showtime against Austin Vanderford. But here is a veteran fighter who, if you follow Canadian MMA, you know the name. He's been in some major fights. His 2 fights with Marlon Moraes were phenomenal to watch. Fights that he lost both for for bantamweight titles down at that level. But again, a veteran fighter, the type that Marcos Breno has not seen before.
No, and we're talking about a well-rounded fighter. His wrestling is outstanding. His stand-up, take a look at his last win. Big-time knockout power. He's got power in his hands. The one thing, if we're going to make a complaint about Josh Hill, is he doesn't get going fast enough. Right there, you saw him, boom, planting it on Jared Scoggins. That is a one-shot knockout. That is a guy that at any moment can land those shots, and he's trying to prove to everyone, I'm not that slow guy anymore as far as getting going. I'm going to come out here and put it on you from the start of the fight, and that's what he says he's going to do tonight against Bueno.
Check out the tail of the tape in a bantamweight division that is beyond stacked right now.
And we know we're talking about it, all the experience of Josh Hill, 35 years of age, against the young gun in Marcos Breno. This is what it's all about. Do you stay in that top position, or does the young gun put you away?
To Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, the time has come to conclude the Bellator 284 prelims, and we'll do it with 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. division. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 5'7", weighing in 136 pounds even in his Bellator debut. He enters with 14 professional victories, 2 losses from Rio Preto da Eva, Amazonas, Brazil, presenting Marcos Breno. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'6", weighing in 135.8 pounds, as a professional. 21 wins, 4 defeats, out of Font Hill, Ontario, Canada. Introducing, gentlemen, Josh Hill. In charge, your referee, Bobby Wambacher.
Grizzled veteran, the rising young prospect.
Marcos, are you ready? Josh, are you ready? Let's get after it.
Young juggernaut who has been finishing fighters left and right, now facing a guy who's only been finished once in 13 professional years and 25 professional fights.
You're going to see Breno try to come out here and land. That was a beautiful right hand he landed. That got Josh Hill's attention. Beautiful shot to the body, too.
Overhand right. Hill stumbled, doesn't have a lot of room to work here.
Like I was trying to say, Breno's going to try to use his speed to overwhelm Josh Hill in the beginning of this fight and put him on his back foot and make him feel like I need to be defensive. That's going to slow down all of his offense.
Look, a little head kick in there. Very good start for Breno.
Yeah, that one right hand, that started everything.
Wow, cutting off the cage.
Breno doing a very nice job of going to the body. All of those body shots that he's been landing solid, and they're going to pay dividends if this fight goes into the later rounds.
He is walking Josh Hill down.
Oh, there he goes right back, ripping to the body with that left hook.
Double left. Now Josh Hill trying to try something new, no sale.
Right now, Breno is getting that confidence. He's going, oh yeah, this is mine. I'm feeling good. Josh Hill has got to figure out a way to slow this down.
This is an eye-opening first 2 minutes for everybody except for Josh Hill. It might be an eye-closing 2 minutes for him.
Love the body attack by Breno.
Here's a good counter right by Hill, but Breno does not back up. Hill has had his back to that fence the entire 2 minutes.
When we get our timing.
Even the left jab.
Let's split, brother.
Loving the body attack. Every now and then, bringing that left hook to the liver.
Look, John, it's forcing. Hill's right hand is coming down a little bit.
He wants to keep it up. Yep. It goes again, and he knows, I've got to keep it up high to protect my chin. And every time he does, Breno has been eating that body up.
Forward, forward.
Second takedown attempt, easily stuffed.
Hey, level's over.
Now a jab to the body. Breno mixing things up very well.
Yep, but you need more than one.
Huge step up for Breno in terms of experience that he is facing, but it looks like the same dominant fighter he has been at the regional levels.
Well, Breno's fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut now with Glover Teixeira.
That's big.
And he says that's made a huge difference in his confidence as a fighter.
Again, going down to the body with that left hook.
62% landing rate by Breno right now. 28 of 44. He's just eating Josh Hill up.
Even the jabs you get through.
You're slipping that big shot too much. Just loosen up.
The attack has been so varied. Josh Hill doesn't know where it's coming from.
That's the part that you have to be impressed with at 24 years of age.
Yeah.
The fact that he's not head hunting. He is going to the body. He's going to the legs. He's using a full and varied attack.
On a night here in these prelims when some of the undefeated young fighters. look at that sneaky.
There's a beautiful elbow by Josh Hill.
And Breno still coming forward.
Can't get back up square, John.
You heard the sound.
Josh Hill looking to do anything that he can get a little bit of respect from Breno.
You got 30 seconds, Josh.
Left jab has worked. The left hook to the body has worked.
Jump back. Take that. It hurts, John. That's why he's back there. Take another shot.
It's Josh Hill, and you have been in some wars, and there's probably his best shot of the round. You have to wonder, what have I signed up for? What did I just get into for these last 5 minutes? That was an impressive opening round in Bellator here for Marcos Breno.
Take a look at some of these shots. That was the right hand right at the beginning of the round. That put Josh Hill on his back foot. It hurt him. He needed time to recover from it. And you saw Breno. The body attack was outstanding. Beautiful right hand over the top. Look at that left hook to the body. And he did it over and over. Here was the elbow by Josh Hill. It caught him not quite as clean as he wanted, but it definitely got his attention. Big round by the man coming into the cage for the first time here in Bellator, Marcos Breno.
Él no va a aguantar, ciérrate y siempre pintando. Cuando entre, entra a presión.
See, a lot of young fighters come in with sort of a swagger and a confidence that is almost irrational. This was a 24-year-old fighter fighting like a 34-year-old fighter in the first round.
Oh, if you're Marcos Breno, you're going, this is exactly the way I said it would be.
You get back up for free. Nice. Let's get back your head.
But he still needs to be very careful with Josh Hill. A ton of experience in Josh Hill, and he does have power in his hands, so he can't make any mistakes.
Okay, well, I like that movement. Now you got your legs. Don't just chase the head, buddy. Don't just chase that head. Good. Okay, jab 6 reverse, right? I need the 2 behind, buddy. Your first shot's good. Circle center. Okay, forward. Jab 6 reverse.
Way through that first round, Josh Hill was having to make decisions as to what he was going to try to defend. Now he's getting a little more aggressive.
What Josh Hill needs to do is he needs to figure out from the outside and at range, Breno is getting the better of him. So I've got to change that up. And that means, well, let me start to step forward and into creating a tightness and start to fight him in a phone booth. Start to make it a little bit ugly. Start to see if he is at range, he's good. Is he as good when the fight gets tight and in close quarter?
Okay, let's keep getting that jab.
Spinning back fist. And the Josh Hill going to, I don't want to call them trick plays here, but the only ones he's hit with are the elbow spinning back fist just going completely outside the box.
No, you're absolutely right. It has been more of the trick plays that have worked for Josh Hill, and I do think that he's got to keep it in this where he's not at range. At range, he's having a problem against Breno.
My braw's going to be there, but you got to get behind that fade. Hey, good.
Now you're trying to, it's the worst case scenario, you're trying to turn a fight around, having already taken the damage that he took. I really think that shot to the body, to the right ribs of Josh Hill really affected him in that first round.
Oh, no doubt, all of those shots to the body, they have slowed Josh down as far as he's keeping that right hand way up high. He's doing it because he's been hit there, but he's also thinking, I got to protect my ribs and my body also.
Yes, Josh. Nice, brother. That hurt. Let's go forward now. You go forward. When you go forward,
You saw how much that Breno was pushing Josh Hill around in the first round. Now, Josh has gotten to a point where he's almost evened it up. but it's still the timing. Just right there, as you just saw, the timing and distance control by Breno. He's the one that is leading this dance.
Don't give up your back. Let's start pulling that left knee down. Okay.
Nice job by Breno to push Josh Hill's back to the canvas. Josh needs to start to build up a base, get him back up against the cage to help him use that as a balance point to get himself back to his feet.
We knew Breno's talent. It is so apparent how well coached he has been.
No doubt about it. When you take a look at just what you're seeing, obviously he understands the ground, his positioning as well, where he's placing his hips. He's staying heavy on top, not giving Josh Hill the ability to have that space to get himself out. And in the stand-up, he's been absolutely outstanding. He controlled the distance. His accuracy is on point. And he's got power in his shots because he's hurt Josh Hill multiple times. See that nice figure four, that leg, keeping that leg so Josh Hill cannot get himself back towards building a base.
Full guard just feels like a rally for Josh Hill.
It really does. When you're looking at it, you go, Josh Hill now has him in full guard. Well, that's good because at least he can slow him down, you would think, but right away. Breno passes into half guard now still.
Okay, let's go sweep. 25, Josh, 25.
Josh Hill able to get him back into guard, but you see where their head position is, and with Breno's head right over the top of Josh, he can generate a lot of power when it comes to the ground and pound.
Breno wins the first 2 rounds in completely different ways. Josh Hill right now is the 9th ranked bantamweight in the outrageous Shark Tank that is 135 in
your
Bellator.
first shot, is that? Your
There's a new young shark in the tank, it looks like.
All of a sudden, someone opened the gate and this thing swam in there and it's taken over. Marcos Breno has just looked fantastic throughout this fight. But he cannot let up. He's got to be careful throughout. You've got a veteran fighter, a guy that's been there and done it in the past with some of the very best. Got to stay on point.
There hasn't been a lot of buzz, but there's been a little about Breno. You can hear people punching us up on the internet right now. Those guys, I told you about this guy. This was my guy. 10 very impressive minutes for that young man. But the veteran's still on his feet and still very dangerous.
Well, Josh Hill knows that he's 2 rounds down, and he knows, look, I got to come up with a way of finishing this guy. We'll see what he does to try to make that happen.
Be a little more aggressive. Ready to try to come underneath.
And you can know that. Mind is willing, but the body's taking 10 minutes of damage.
Absolutely. It's when you're getting hit all those times, it just adds up for you. You're not as fast. The power is just not the same. Everything just tails off. You saw Josh Hill coming out and trying to press forward, and right away, Breno made it to where now Josh Hill is having that idea, I got to circle out instead of coming forward. It's not working for me.
And I want to say this in real time because these are the fights sometimes, and I'm not saying Josh Hill's like this, you see fighters later say, well, I was hurt, so I couldn't do this. Yeah, it was the other guy that did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were hurt.
You were hurt because of him. Nice
combination. That's the first time. I mean, he hasn't thrown punches like that 2 in a row. He hasn't doubled up. He hasn't been able to. Josh Hill solved a lot of puzzles in his 13 years. He hasn't figured this one out.
We've watched Josh Hill in the Bellator cage now 3-4 fights, and so far Marcus Breno has put more damage on him in those fights. Now Rafion Stotts, our interim champion, he beat Josh and beat him pretty decisively, but he didn't damage him the way Breno is. Oh, big left hook.
Counter left. Hill felt good about his combination, and he paid a big price for it.
You are absolutely 100% right on that. He was feeling like that was a good shot, and Breno just countered that with the left hand.
How demoralizing is that?
It's horrible.
Let's go. We gotta go
Boom,
forward,
I got this guy. I just hit him, and he keeps coming forward.
Forward. You're halfway, John. Everything you got.
And it almost puts you in that position. Josh Hill's got about half around here to try to figure this out, but everything you've tried, nothing has really worked for you. And it's a matter of now, do I continue to try to win this fight, or do I continue just to survive?
We get fascinated with stoppages and finishes. That's the nature of it, and I get it. And Marcus Breno, as we said, has 13 of his 14 wins by stoppage. It's hard for me to imagine any of them have been as impressive as this, which may not have a stoppage.
Hey, absolutely. There's those times when you say some of the best fights that you've seen actually go to the distance just based upon both guys being so good, so tough, that they can't finish each other. But you look at the performance of one or both of those athletes and you go, it was incredible. Take a look at the strike stats here.
I even think that's misleading. 68-27, it feels
way
even
more
blow up.
Yeah.
You gotta go. You gotta find him.
At 59% accuracy right now, I actually think that Breno's been more accurate than that. Nice left hand by Josh Hill. Josh Hill still going after it, still trying to find a way to get a win in this fight.
And that's the point. This is a credit to the veteran hero. Stuffed the first one.
Everything you got, buddy.
He's got 48 seconds to work from here.
And right here is where Josh Hill, even though he knows I'm in a position, he's trying to hold on to me. I've got to explode. I've got to make space. I've got to do something that's going to create big damage. Don't know if he's going to be able to. Breno doing a very good job of keeping him close. That's going to minimize the damage. That's the kind of shot that Josh Hill needs to land.
Hill knows he's desperate. He's going.
Beautiful knee.
His best minute of the fight has been minute 15. That spinning back fist connected. And you wonder if that had connected in the first minute and not the 15th, would it have had more on it? Instead, the veteran, impressive, staying in the fight, having his best minute at the end. But man, Marcus Breno makes an impact in his Bellator debut. I wouldn't even be shocked if judges one or more gave the third round to Josh Hill. But
there is the possibility, but there is no doubt who's going to walk away with this fight. Marcus Breno from the start, landing big shots. That was a beautiful left hook. That hurt Josh Hill. Both of those, and you see Josh Hill coming in, just missing, just glancing off. Breno coming with that counter, landing solid. Here comes the spinning hook. He even took a shot off of that, lands it, and then Breno just misses with the left hook off of it. Somehow, in my mind, I have a lot more punches landed by Marcus Breno in this fight.
So does Josh Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Full marks for the veteran to take 15 minutes of that. But so many young fighters, you hear the hype and it's difficult to live up to it. This was an impressive first look at an emotional young fighter stepping onto the big stage and delivering for his team.
Boy, he did deliver.
these moments when you remember, it's easy to forget sometimes the work that goes into these moments and the dreams that these young fighters have. How many in Brazil dream of this moment in a major promotion, going to the States, fighting under the bright lights, fighting a veteran, and never get the opportunity? Marcos Breno not only did tonight, he made the most of it.
And it's not only the sacrifice by the fighter, it's the sacrifice of everyone around him. It is not an easy thing to do, and when you have a performance like Marcos Breno had tonight, it all just feels like, yep, it's all worth it.
Michael C. Williams has the final word.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Judge Eric Colon scores the fight 30-27, while judges Michael Bell and Anthony Manus both see it the same, 29-28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Marcos Breno.
Said a couple of judges gave Josh Hill that third round, but it did not matter. He was fighting from behind, and he said a 24-year-old that looked like a 34-year-old fighting on the big stage for the first time is as impressive as it gets.
Just absolutely, you can't ask for a better performance from a guy coming in first time in a promotion. The pressure that's on him going against a veteran fighter, Marcos Breno was just outstanding.
He goes to 15-2, scoring the biggest win of his young career. We are going live, top of the hour on Showtime, headed for a main event that is fascinating on so many different levels. A fight that will be fun on many different levels between Goichi Yamauchi and Naaman Gracie. We just saw the veteran Josh Hill from Canada. Aaron Jeffrey from Canada will get his chance to make some noise in the opener against Austin Vanderford. That's how we'll start out a fascinating night with a lot of title contention spots and top 10 spots on the line. We'll see you top of the hour on Showtime.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art of ground fighting.
We about to set it off.
His family perfected it,
The Gracie train keeps rolling.
but he has the most submission wins in Bellator history.
Oh, there it is.
Brazilian black belt Naaman Gracie
Get out.
versus Brazilian black belt Goichi Yamauchi. It's a fight to decide ground game supremacy. Don't get it twisted.
There's the tap.
It's about to go down.
Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi. Tonight, live on Showtime.
Keep heavy on her. Get out there. Get out there. Get out there.
She has it extended, but it's further up. Can't see if her hips are all the way on the joint. Tackett trying to walk over. It might be too late.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of room to do it.
It's not a good position for either fighter. It's hard for McFarland to extend in this position. It's hard for Tackett to walk over. She got it.
That's it.
Tapped out with her foot.
She was so frustrated, but she had nowhere to go. And she's able to regain her feet. And now which way does it go?
You can get choked out here. It doesn't matter.
Alima McFarland digging in.
This is way tighter now. This is done. She's out.
It's over. Alima McFarland would not be denied. Jessica Middleton took a lot of grief from her friends for that. Like, you beat up Mma App. How could you do that?
Nice step over, going for the armbar. Finishing this early.
That's deep Doesn't have a lot of room to spin out of it.
Yeah, she's going hard for it. Hips all the way in. She's going to have to turn it. She's flexible, but only saved it for so long. But she is not letting this go. Trying to put it behind the armpit. There it is.
Every time we see her, Mma McFarland is more and more impressive.
Those kicks have put a welt on the left leg of McFarland, but they haven't slowed her down at all.
No, they haven't. But Mma now working that flexible guard.
90 seconds remain. McFarland would love to get a finish.
Trying to isolate the arm. She might have it. Got it.
It's all over. Mma McFarland is the first ever Bellator flyweight champion. Going for the arm. Can she get it? Looking for the finish right here, right now.
You see that wrap. If she's able to wrap that underneath her arm, that's going to be somebody's going to take her arm and put it in that big hyperextension move. She's trying to push that arm away with her foot. She just needs to stay with it, bring it over to the far side, bring it to her right side. That will get her arm bar. That is tight. Laura is a tough, tough girl. That is a tight arm bar. It hurts, but she's sticking in there. Mma needs to work to get those hips extended. That hip extension is going to cause the pressure. There you go.
It's all over. Mma McFarland.
Going for the arm.
McFarland looking for the arm bar, but Letourneau now on her feet. Letourneau puts the knee down, drops a hammer fist, but now the triangle.
And that arm is across. She's in trouble with that. That is tight. It's going to cause her a problem.
Remember, McFarland won the title with the Dead Orchard variation of the triangle armbar. Now she's got a triangle on Letourneau, and it's McFarland delivering strikes.
The more that you see McFarland extend her hips in this, the better off it's going to be for her. Do not let Valerie collapse your hips. Beautiful job. There it is.
There it is. Let the luau begin. Mma McFarland. There will be blood.
Oh, that's a horrific cut.
If you are squeamish, let me warn you ahead of time to look away.
And Campos. And Gertz hits a left hook, the knee up the middle, but then it's Gertz landing the right hook. And man, they are just swinging for the fences and hurting. Gertz is leaking from the forehead, and he secures a takedown and an elbow strike to Campos.
Somebody is bleeding horribly.
It's Gertz on the forehead.
It's Gertz. He's fighting now like he's desperate.
There will be blood in Thackerville, Oklahoma.
Wow.
Good job.
Not for the faint of heart, Jimmy.
I need you to work on this one.
So we can get a look at the cut.
Oh,
That's gnarly.
Big breath.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, everything is hurting. That straight left is
Remember Vitor Belfort and Marvin Eastman to that knee in the front, very similar. I won't say what Joe Rogan said that night.
Man, I can see what he's thinking.
The mobility. A kick by MVP, and what a recovery by Anderson.
Yeah, that's it. It's over. It's all right, don't worry.
And this fight is over. As that crushing kick spells victory for Michael Venom Page, improving to 19-1 overall, 15-1 here in Bellator, recording his 12th knockout victory.
Crimson battle, as you would say.
Yes, as the late great pro wrestling announcer Gordon Soley would say, they're sporting crimson masks as we go to the judges' scorecard.
Stop. Okay, good job, man.
Wow, what a gash.
You're going to see the elbow that cut him. Take a look right there. Beautiful slicing elbow. That's the one that cut Austin Vanderford for you. See the blood
It
right away.
slices, it dices.
At 30-27, I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, the gentleman, Mr. Van Zandt, Austin Vanderford.
Hey man, I like him bloody, whether it's me or my opponent. I'm out here to scrap, and you know, hats off to Fabian, cut me up a little bit, but happy to get the win, buddy.
Well, and that's something that John alluded to earlier in Josh. Oh my goodness.
Right here. Right here.
You know that was a hard one. You know that was a hard one. You hear him. Right to the transition, spinning back, right on the front of the cup.
Once the doctor says they're ready to go, they don't have the ability to say, no, I need more time.
What a gamer, man.
Definitely gamer.
Stanonik, Raymond Daniels, we continue. Unintentional, of course. Stanonik.
Wow. No, that was definitely cup. I saw. John.
Josh.
Well, you guys were fortune tellers.
He
You guys
jumped
were
while it
fortune
happened.
tellers and said,
But
hey, what if this
it is what it
happens
is.
again? This one, he's not gonna recover on this one. Oh, that was so clear.
Squaring him. I know it was unintentional,
that was horrible.
Still an illegal
His
shot.
leg was up. That was just, I feel right now.
So it's over. It will be a no contest.
And it's cost John Alessio a lot of energy going for these takedowns. Will Brooks made him pay for every single one.
Looking for the outside trip, then the knee. Another big knee. Big strikes now from Brooks.
Oh, that cut is bad, Sean. He's looking for the finish.
Oh, that's a horrific cut. It's a faucet of blood coming out of that bad, deep cut under Alessio's left eye. That's the end of the fight.
You got a cut right on your cheek. It's really big, okay? All right. He's going to help you out.
Alessio absolutely covered in his own blood. A smiling John Alessio, almost admiring that cut. That mouse didn't pop. That mouse under his left eye exploded.
If you can even stay in the fight.
I mean, if you, A, it's hard to keep your right hand up. B, it's very hard to move. C, it's hard to breathe. So just about everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
Beautiful. Runs into the jump knee, and it's over.
Did the hype train just pick up speed because it didn't derail? Wow!
Regardless of who it is.
Let the fight come to you. You have time. Do what you have trained to do.
Inside, like,
oh, he's broke his leg.
Oh my God!
Broke his leg.
Get out. And I don't know if Miller should be celebrating this.
Well, look at it.
I get
This
the
is his pro
adrenaline dump.
debut,
I
and it's
understand
legitimate.
that. I will give him a pat, but oh my God.
And you see exactly the norm. It hits on the knee, which is transferring all that energy up the femur bone towards the hip, and there is no give.
I think that is a tool missed. Though I'm not questioning McDonald, I'm just pointing out it is unique.
I asked Darian, big shot from McDonald, and Dantas in some trouble early. Scrambling to cover up. McDonald pulling it on, and it's over. It's over. Michael McDonald, a stunning knockout in the opening minute of Eduardo Dantas. We're going to show you what really happened and why they're tending to the right ankle of Eduardo Dantas. If you are squeamish, let me warn you ahead of time to look away. If you're not, watch the right ankle of Dantas. After the jab from McDonald knocks him down, Dantas is going to fall back on that ankle, and right there, the crowd is just seeing the replay for the first time. It goes back to Madison Square Garden last year. Michael Chandler and Brent Primus, we have seen it before. Now, this is McDonald seeing it right there on the replay as we showed it, both to you and everybody here in the building. Michael McDonald seeing what happened for the first time.
That's when I had no idea that had happened. I do not like that side of it. I do love the sportsmanship show.
Extraordinary.
John, much like the Koreshkov fight, vicious leg kicks from the phenom.
And this is what he's doing to start to systematically break Rory down. Rory was hurt. Look at, I'm not saying that he can't continue to fight, but trust me, that leg is not going to help him with the rest of his fight.
That is nasty. Not quite Mark Hominick nasty, but pretty darn close.
That is a huge hematoma on that shin. You can see him putting ice on it to try to cool it down. It's not going to work. It's not going to change anything for Rory now. He's just got to gut it through in this last round.
You can see from this angle the damage on the shin, the left shin of Rory MacDonald. Look at that. Oh, my.
That's what I was talking about. This is what people don't realize. Those are the things that start to make it to where you can't stand. You can't push off. He kicked you with low kicks that as I was watching, I go, those are damaging. Those are going to hurt. They're going to start to add up. How bad is your leg?
Well, I think I have a person growing inside me down there. It looks of it. I can't really walk on it, but whatever. I got through it.
It's going to be sore for a while. I want to tell you, this is your second chance at being a world champion. You have now conquered that goal. Congratulations.
I don't know how many times we've seen walk-offs from MVP.
And that's what you get, a beautiful highlight reel knockout finish.
And immediately, Sergey Kharitonov attacks, and immediately, Avi Ayala shoots.
No surprise in either one of those.
Sergey Kharitonov, as any veteran of Pride, so cognizant of the fence. Oh! By Javi Ayala, we're done. A stunner in the opening seconds.
What did we say about great opportunities? You make the most of them. He just did. Overhand right, stepped into it. Bang! Out before he hit the ground.
That is what it looked like. Listen to what it sounded like.
Like you dropped a coconut out of a window. That's the sound it makes. Bang!
Watch his movements, Joe.
Kato almost dismissively called Schilling a big glove fighter. He said, I'm a small glove fighter.
Oh! And that is it! With the small gloves! And the step-in left-hand knockout! I think he's famous now! A huge win for Hisaki Kato!
This beautiful leaping left hand, a Superman punch. You don't see that in kickboxing. That's what he meant by I'm a small glove fighter. I'm an MMA fighter. MMA fighters throw punches like that sometimes. And that's what you get, a beautiful highlight reel knockout finish.
In this featherweight fight. And it's Archuleta that comes in with his Ortiz attacks and then backs out. What a right hand! A walk-off KO by the Spaniard! Juan Archuleta!
Montes throws the kick. Archuleta blocks, comes with the hook. Boom! Right on the button. Puts him down. He is out. What a shot by Juan Archuleta to finish that round.
Play your game. You can't wait on MVP. He's too fast. He's too long, as you're seeing right there.
Did measure that right hand beautifully.
You got to demand your respect right off the bat.
Otherwise, it is just the MVP show. He can just dominate, and that's exactly what he's doing.
It's been the MVP show since he came to Bellator. It's been the MVP show. Him and Jimmy are going to have to fight for the name, the rights.
Whose show is it?
MVP right hand all over. He is long-levered and lethal. And feints again, and now watch, steps in, beautiful little overhand right. Normally MVP throws the straight, but he can realize he can come right over the top, land it right on the button. You see Molino just go straight down, body goes stiff, head hits off the canvas, fight is done.
That's, I don't know how many times we've seen walk-offs from MVP. That was a straight-up walk-off. Someone's taking their life from one area and take it to the next level to live their dreams. He's here right now fighting on the biggest stage probably of his life and career. Nice spinning body kick.
Take a look at it again here. Set it up and then opened up the right hand. What a shot. As if we didn't know already, he is the real deal. This could be an exciting late blooming career in the Bellator cage as an MMA fighter for Raymond Daniels. Thankfully, Barros is fine. He's just gone and bowed and shaken the hand of Daniels. Watch it again, though. The spin, the adjustment.
Showing already, John, in the way he reacts, although he got momentarily bothered there by Michael Venom Page.
He got hurt with a
staggered. And there's a jumping attack by Page.
Page needs to take advantage right now. Douglas is he's not quite at 100%.
Oh, and there. What a shot by Lima! Mamma mia! Douglas Lima has just defeated Michael Venom Page in impressive fashion.
Beautiful kick. We were talking about that kick, but watch the shot right here. That right hand, boom, touches that chin. He is unconscious right now. Didn't even need those two. He was out before he touched the ground. Doesn't look like much, but trust me, AJ felt that kick.
Makapa's Bellator debut was his first fight in the U.S. Spin and a miss. Right up his AJ.
And that's where we're talking about.
He's all over! Knockout! AJ Mckee! Just like that!
AJ takes a big step inside. Look at this left hand. Comes through. Bip right on the chin. That hand, you can see his whole body goes limp. AJ can come down with a shot, but he doesn't. That left hand put him out.
He's backing off, trying to get his wits about him. But still not going for the takedown. This is really surprising me. I thought he'd, kickbox until he got hurt. Then maybe go for the takedown, but he still wants to kickbox with the very dangerous Patricky Pitbull. Oh, good left, this is it!
We're done. We are done.
Man! We saw him trying to get his wits back, but couldn't do it. Look at this left hand right on the chin. Man, what an accurate shot. Right over the top. Look at it here. Just fits it inside the right hand of Ryan Couture. We talked earlier about the
Rickles fight.
About the Rickles fight, finding his opportunities to lay that sniper's bullet, and there it is, right on the chin.
Action there, let's go. One loss does not ruin a career, nor should it, Jimmy.
MMA very, very forgiving.
Well, Pico not wanting to be very forgiving against Justin Lin. Lin with that head kick blocked. And Pico beginning to shot. Mamma mia! What a left hook! Pico closes the book on this matchup in style.
He had had success early with his striking. And look at this. Left hand right to the chin. Look at the head whip. And that is it. Cutting the strings on a puppet. That's what that looks like. Bang!
We are underway in tonight's Fight Clock, brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. Micah Terrell in the blue gloves and Saba Homasi in the red gloves.
Oh, he's done. And it is all over. Just like that. What a night.
I was gonna say, the one thing when you're gonna watch Homasi is he is very explosive. Watch this shot. Boom! Boom! That lands as flush as it can land. All of these are unnecessary. Good job by Keith Peterson getting inside to stop that, but what a shot by Homasi. That right hand lands flush. You can see the trauma that it creates. You see the legs go out, no reaction of the arms to brace the fall. He comes in with an extra one. Huge shots. What a fight starting sequence and ending sequence by Homasi. Watch this live. Real time, just waits. You could hear it. Sounds like a baseball being hit out of the park.
Surviving the shot below the equator. Lead right hand by Fortune connects. Another right hand. Oh, but Johnson just clocked Fortune. Fortune fingers the bald, and Johnson has knocked Tyrell Fortune out cold.
Here's a replay right here. Tim Johnson comes in, throws the left, but it's the right hand. Look at touch right on that chin. Hit the button. Didn't even need to follow up. Once that right hand touches, left hand comes forward. Both throw the right hand, but it's Tim Johnson's that finds the mark. And you can see Tyrell Fortune is out, going down. But he's going to start coming after him. He's going to start walking towards him because that's the way he wins fights.
Jamie Stevenson's longest professional fight, 7 minutes, 33 seconds, and that is it. It is all over, just like that.
You see the hand starting to move. That left hook he just jumped into, and it paralyzed Jamie Stevenson. That was a solid shot. Look at that beautiful feint. He sees the hand movements, and that's why he jumps into it. Clips him right on the chin. Boom. What's fun about Joe doesn't give a lot of movement, doesn't give a lot of head movement beforehand, but he's so good at reading his opponent, watching his shoulders, seeing when he's attacking. He just gives that little bit of a 2 to 3 inch slip that makes the punch just graze right by.
Stitch him up, the first American to win a global combat tournament.
Oh, he's out! He's out!
It is all over, just like that!
Elbow strike right here. Look at the left hand slip by, but that left hook starches Joe Schilling. You see him dropping down, unable to control his body. He is out. Tony Johnson landing a huge left hand. That one wasn't needed. Referee wasn't there to be able to get in to stop it. Schilling tries the elbow. Look at the left hook come on the top. It just clips him perfect. Shuts out the lights. Watch this real speed. Boom!